What's up, everybody? Welcome to Flagrant. It's been brought to my attention by the internet, the glorious internet, that my mom was caught outside of a Toronto Maple Leafs hockey game recently. Take it away.
I'm really sorry. I came all the way from Scotland. I thought the Leafs were going to win. 2 games they lost. It must have been the fact that the guys were so overwhelmed at the size of my massive they lost concentration. I am sorry. They let me sit on the bench. That's why they lost tonight. They were overcome by Scottish pheromones. They didn't know what they were doing.
That's so good.
They let her sit on the bench?
I never understood where you got your confidence until that clip. Now it all makes sense.
Yo, they might be the most confident people. They really just don't give a...
Like, are Scottish women known for having huge tits? I know that.
I know.
Yeah.
Most of the women, my Aunt Edith, rest in peace, had huge tits. Like, she looked like Gru. She was like all upper body. It was just this massive upper body. But a lot of them start to get fat, and then they're just belly and tits become this one thing where they're just like, it's just like someone put like a square on top of their
Hadrian's
hips.
Wall.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fucking,
They had to keep them fucking Romans out somehow.
oh, that's fire, dude.
Oh man, this girl is awesome.
Yeah, she's a big one. That you know that there's like the Scottish are so they have like such like a roasty culture.
Yeah.
That like you gotta accept whatever the fuck you look like real fast. So if you're fat, everybody calls you fat since you're a kid. It's kind of like Latinos in a lot of ways.
Same way, yeah.
Like the fat kid, they call you flaco.
What does that mean?
Skinny.
Oh, okay.
They'll call you the opposite of what you are.
I knew a gordo.
Yeah. We have like a family name in India.
Yeah.
So my cousin, they just call him Golu. It just means round.
Just means round.
That's just what you That's your name to everybody. Golu.
I mean, so then eventually you become like 45 years old and you've been a fat piece of shit your whole life. And you learn how to be funny about it and endearing, and then you just take over the internet. So shout out you, miss.
Yeah, dude.
Shout out you, okay?
I was playing tennis with the #1 14-year-old in DR, and she's like a little darker skinned Dominican, and they were like, "Hey, negra.
Yeah.
Like that's her name.
She beat your ass, didn't
Oh,
she?
of course. She was nice. 14 years old, busting everybody's ass. That shit was
Black people
fun.
really coming up on tennis, huh?
Yeah, dude.
Give us some time.
No, you guys got that quick.
What'd they call you out there?
Shitty. I really was the weakest link out there. That it humbled me
Do you
quite
have
a
a
bit.
tennis ball on your nail?
I do.
Oh, man.
Tennis ball on the nail. The
You know
shirts
what,
have
dude?
a towel.
I like it.
That's like
If you're,
I love it.
you're like the gay version of her.
Yes.
You're like that, but for gay. You know what I
I'll
mean?
take it.
Like,
Thank you.
No, because he doesn't want to have fun with it. He like
that is true.
Like she knows she got huge fat tits and she's a big sloppy girl, and she leans into it.
Yeah.
But you
I
get a
think
little
this is
sensitive
fly
when we
as
make.
fuck.
No, exactly. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
yeah,
She
yeah.
doesn't think she's flying. Like she doesn't
No.
really think her tits distracted the Maple
I
Leafs.
think she believed that.
No.
She believed
No,
that. She believed. She
So
said
we
it
need-
with conviction.
We need to get you to that point, though. We need to get you to that point where you're just accepting.
yeah, if you were like, I'm not good at tennis because there's no good homosexual tennis players,
Yeah.
that would be that.
No, there was Arthur Ashe. That's a deep cut joke.
Wait, who's Arthur
That's
Ashe?
a deep cut joke. He's
died
the
of
one,
AIDS?
He's the one who died of AIDS. Yeah.
I didn't know what I was.
And we named a stadium after him. Isn't that
Yeah,
crazy?
because he got it from a blood transfusion, dog. Back then they didn't know. Back then they didn't know.
I think you got it from a deep cut. No, did you really think it was a blood
Yeah, because
transfusion?
it was like the 70s. They didn't even start checking until after he died.
So
now
there was
that's
just
why.
some random gay guy getting butt fucked, cummed in, and then going to Mount Sinai and
Yeah, because they didn't
giving
know
blood.
back then. They didn't even understand what AIDS was until like what, the late 80s?
Who gives blood? Like I'm trying to like, what's going on in your life? Where you're like,
I give blood.
really?
Yeah.
I'm giving plasma.
Yes, I did the same
Oh,
thing.
do you guys
yeah.
have the fancy blood?
Yeah.
No, I don't. But plasma, I heard they needed, and I was trying to be a good person. I gave up on that shit. Don't worry.
Man, they see your blood and throw that shit out.
Thought it was mango.
Why is there so much lipids? Why is it yellow? What is that?
One blood transfusion, type 2 diabetes a week later.
Corn syrup in it.
Yeah, if anybody get diabetes like Arthur Ashe, that's me. That's my blood.
Yeah, RFK will ban your blood immediately, bro. It's fucking red dye a million.
Why is there so much corn syrup in here, yo?
So what's going through your life when was there like a call made like, hey, we need blood because there's a travesty? Like,
I had
what?
donated before,
Yeah.
and you actually feel better at first you feel kind of like shit when you donate blood, but then I don't know, you start to feel like
I've done it too, but I thought it was for like a credit or something in college.
Yeah.
Like I thought there was some sort of.
I
like,
did it after
reward.
9/11, so everybody knew which team I was on. That was important in my high school.
Well, which team did you donate to? You did it to the dudes in Afghanistan.
No, dude, that visa took too long. So I just went to the mosque and no, I did it in my high school. They had like a blood drive.
Okay.
I don't even know how.
So they were milking 9/11 for blood.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody needs your blood in Texas.
That's a good
some
point.
fucked up shit, ain't it?
When I was in law enforcement, they used to force us to do it like every 6 months. Like,
Really?
You feel good afterward though, right? After like an hour.
Really?
You get
I
new
just used
blood
to do
in?
it for the fucking chocolate and a little time off from work. Let you sit
At
in
my
the
high
room a
school,
while.
they would drive up with a bus.
Yeah.
5 Jamaican ladies would be on it, and
Yeah.
then you go on, you give blood, and they give you a movie ticket, and you got to skip class.
Yeah.
And so they
That's
would just
sick.
milk. But there were 15-year-olds going on this bus giving blood like 3 times a week.
But that's sick. You get a movie ticket.
Yeah, it was
We do
prices
have to
now,
pay
that's-
us.
Yeah.
We don't do it for just to be good
Yeah, but the movie
Samaritans.
ticket is $40. They sell the blood for $600. It's like an
They
insane
sell
market.
it?
Yeah. These buses are just selling it to the hospitals, and they make crazy money on it.
Oh, I thought the buses were from the
I
hospital.
don't think
That's
so.
crazy.
No. They're like independent blood harvesters from
Can
children.
someone fact check this, please? That seems insane.
Okay, so
and
when
illegal.
Hollywood does it, they're like these evil elites. But when 5 Jamaican ladies do it,
Steal blood from children.
yeah, the blood
Literally.
sled team. We gotta.
That's
Yeah, dude, it was wild, and you got to skip class.
So it's a private company that comes and makes money off of.
No, I don't think
I
so.
thought-
Like
that's
the
what I
American
thought.
Red Cross does it and shit like that, I think, right?
Mine was just a big red bus. That's what it was called.
Yeah, we had the big red bus. in
Yeah,
high
and they
school.
would just pull up, and you got to skip class. No parental consent form or
They
anything.
go to Floridians.
Yes,
These
that one.
motherfuckers would just go in a random red
That
bus
one,
and
dude.
just give their blood to anybody.
I wanted to start this as a business in college where you go to spring break locations, pull blood out of people, then they get drunk faster, and you get their blood.
Wow.
That's a win-win.
Oh,
Kind of smart, right?
That's a good idea.
Right?
Why?
So-
Yeah, because
idea.
with less blood, your blood
You're gonna get drunk
alcohol
super fast. People will die.
Yeah, well,
Goes up.
then more blood. You know, it's just like it's kind of a perfect
Oh yeah,
system.
do we ever drain the dead? What is the
That's a
yeah?
good
What, like how
question.
long is blood good? Like if somebody dies, we'll take their lungs, we'll
Yeah.
take their liver.
As soon
we'll
as they
take their
announce
heart.
time of death, they should take the whole.
Yeah, like Dune, just take whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's. Why don't we do that?
Are you an organ donor?
Let me check.
That freaks me out. I said no.
Yeah, I think I said no.
Y'all said no.
I think I said no.
I think I said no.
Because if
Yeah.
you believe in the afterlife,
But you don't need organs. It's a soul.
yeah, but my idea of the afterlife is I got what I got. Like I'm gonna be whatever.
Your
I
shoulder
hate.
still hurts in the afterlife.
What
How
did
do
I
I
say?
tell?
Crazy.
Oh yeah.
They don't even have it anymore.
Wow, you're an organ donor. No. You
They-
gotta take that off.
So they took it off the New York license.
Class D. What is
no,
that?
They didn't. It means you're not
Vehicles
one.
you
Class
can-
D.
Oh,
If
that's
it's
the
just
type
not
of
there,
vehicles
just
you can
ignore it.
drive.
Oh shit!
Yo,
All right.
Al thought he was an organ donor and they took it off his license.
No. It used to say organ donor or not, or I
Now
thought
it just
said
says
not.
donor or not. Like I just got the little
okay.
heart there.
Yeah,
Do you have a
bro.
New York license?
No, I got the Texas, but I'm sure it's the same shit.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm a donor, bro.
I don't
I'm a
think it's
donor.
true.
I don't think you're a donor either.
My mom told me not to do it.
Hey, wild guess here.
Yeah, I know.
No, I did. It's Class D. D is for donor.
No,
No. That's the grade you got on your driving
That's what's
test.
right. Let me drive a golf cart.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
My mom told me not to do it because if I was on the operating table, they said they would harvest my organs.
That's why I
knew
think
that was
too.
it.
That's what my mom told me. And
They
I
all
was,
say that like they're not going to try to save you as much,
Yeah.
as if a doctor sees like a fresh pair of kidneys. And
Yeah.
like, all right, let this motherfucker bleed out.
Yeah, they don't see your
But
license.
they don't take the blood
They don't take the
because
blood.
it starts to clot and they take it from living people.
They take it from the living people.
yeah.
But I'm saying if it's
But if
if
somebody develops that technology, that's going to save a lot of lives.
yeah. And then we don't have to, you don't have to pull up to these kids in school.
Yeah.
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 You
Poor
sure
kids
they
are
were
lightheaded.
Jamaican? They weren't like Haitian using that shit for voodoo and shit?
No, they might have been. Honestly, they might have
You
been.
never know.
They did a sperm donation bus right after. It was crazy.
Can we speak to it?
All the high schoolers would line up. It was a glory hole thing. It was fun.
fucking
Yeah.
do 2 for 1.
Yes,
Yeah,
bro.
honestly.
The big white bus pulled up right behind
But you
it.
got to jerk off before because you won't have the blood to fill your dick.
Yeah.
So you got to jerk off first.
Yeah.
Then you give blood.
Yeah.
And you take the blood right from the dick.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they drain your dick. You jerk off, it's still hard, and then you just tap it.
Bro, Brandon said that. You remember? You know Brandon.
Yeah.
He said
I
would.
do, I know him.
Yeah,
We all know him.
Everyone knows
He's
Brandon.
here every week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I know
forgot that. Yeah. I forgot. He's my friend. I didn't know you guys know.
What do you mean?
God.
You mean the guy that works for us?
We get it. You have a black friend.
know,
You don't gotta do this
I
every
have two
time.
now. I have two. He said he
You're
would
not
never.
racist, Mark.
You mean
Yeah.
that?
You're not racist. But
Well-
if you want to prove it to the world, just go on Shannon Sharp's podcast. Go.
He said he would never he wouldn't get a blood transfusion because he doesn't want another man's blood in his penis.
That's funny.
That's facts, though.
He's like,
That
it's
is-
kind of gay. You get a blood transfusion, someone else's blood pumping your dick up, that's gay.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
can't
just gotta
risk it.
die, I guess.
Wow, that's right. I guess, yeah, you never think about blood as like your thing.
Yeah.
Right? If you feel like it's like water or something like that, we just
Yeah.
all have access to it. But yeah, it's your blood. And you got another man's blood fucking your wife.
Black people come up with the best homophobia, bro.
Anything to not go to the hospital, bro.
We're top tier when it comes to that. bro.
I mean, we gave you syphilis one time, and now you're scared to
a
go.
whole thing.
Right? Get over it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gonorrhea? What's
Syphilis.
Syphilis. Once, and now you don't want to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even get that COVID shot, probably because of the syphilis thing.
No, I mean, for sure, because of the syphilis.
It was because of
Yeah.
syphilis thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they were just straight up injecting syphilis into black people?
Into the pilots, yeah.
And then telling him
be
it was
like-
like medicine or something.
Like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Just like, let's just see.
But why did they not think that you would just get syphilis? Like, what's the experiment?
I don't know.
You
They
guys are
wanted to
good.
see the effects of it or whatever, I guess. Instead of getting syphilis patients, they're like, well, let's just inject healthy black people.
This is horrible.
It's so fucked, dude.
Wait a minute.
It's so fucked.
Wait, that's why you don't trust the government? No.
Yeah. They did it in Guatemala too.
Did they?
USAID.
USAID support it. So they didn't trust the results from the black people. They're like, we need a bigger data set.
Yeah. They're like, which race can survive syphilis?
Is that, come on, be honest, is that the idea behind it? Or did they like mutate the virus a little bit?
I don't know. I
No,
think it was
I
literally
don't-
just to see like what late term syphilis looked like untreated. That's what I think. I don't know. I'm not an
Watching
expert.
you realize this is so funny.
Yeah, I know.
Watching you realize this in real time, and you're such a history guy, and somehow
I'll be honest with you.
Who knows more history
He's
than
like,
this
yo,
guy?
the Romans, bro.
Can I be honest?
No, the Romans are more fire.
Son,
They had baby tigers.
son, I still don't believe that y'all don't believe that. I still don't believe that you don't believe it. I still don't believe that you don't believe that they were able to
It
do
was
that.
just regular shit. You just kidnapped cubs.
You're trying to say that they put syphilis in fully grown black people, and then when they got syphilis, they were like, "This syphilis shit is crazy."
Yeah.
That was the
And the black
takeaway.
people kept getting sick, and they're like, "We're trying to give you medicine," and it was just more syphilis.
Fauci was alive during this time? Is that what you're trying
I
to tell
think
me?
Fauci did.
Who was the Fauci at the time that signed off on
They're
this?
all white people.
Yeah.
That's the problem. We need to throw the bad whites under the bus.
Yes.
The fact that we don't have a Fauci, that it was his
The
program.
Germans did it. Mendeleev and Hitler, and you got the guys.
Yeah,
you know
we,
the guys.
Well, we know about them when they did it.
yeah, that's
We-
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Germans threw their guys under the bus.
We need to throw them under the bus.
Yeah, that's
we
true.
need to know who the Fauci was at the time. that
White
stuck
Americans
up
need
all
better
those-
PR. I believe that. That's a
Thank
thing.
you, thank you. I've been saying this for fucking years. I'm trying to do my best, you know,
Yeah.
to put a good version of us out there for the world to consume.
I agree. Nah, they got white Americans.
How
got
do y'all
horrible
not
PR.
know who did that to you?
Yeah.
I think all of you.
That's the
That's the problem. That's the problem.
That's the
That's,
design.
that's my point. White,
we
white
like
Americans-
it.
Can y'all just be honest?
like it.
You
It's all
fucking
good.
prostitutes, y'all got syphilis and blamed it on us. Can you just be honest? You're telling me the pilots who
We
were
got
like,
it from the white prostitutes, though.
Hey, we believe it. I mean, that's how they got Capone too, right? Didn't Al Capone go down for syphilis?
He did go down to
Really?
syphilis. I
So
think
maybe-
he was also, or something that, it was maybe gonorrhea, something apparently that was very easily treatable with like penicillin.
Yeah.
But he was so afraid of like injections or whatever that he just died in prison.
Because Sicilians are black.
That's true.
Yeah, all right.
We're
That's
finding
good.
connectivity
You're
here.
doing the math right now. son.
That's good.
Yeah, that's cool. son.
Damn, bro, that's crazy that we don't know the person responsible for
It's
that
crazy
study.
you didn't know.
No, I knew what happened. I knew that they were, not using protection and they got syphilis. I knew something happened, But I didn't know that there was a specific psychopath that was like, hey, let's just inject syphilis in them and then see if they get it.
It was a government thing, was it not?
But I thought what they did is like they mutated the virus in some way and they thought that it would create
I could be wrong.
an immunity to the disease.
No, you're right, Akash.
Okay.
Which is?
Study conducted between 1932 and 1972, 40 fucking years, by the United
They
States Public
didn't
Health.
figure that shit out after 3 years.
Yeah,
40 years of doing
Valid
nothing?
The United States Public Health Service and the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC.
Wow.
400 African American men with syphilis.
See who headed the program. I want to know who was responsible. The fact that it's not in the Wikipedia article. This is crazy. And no, all white people get blamed for it. No white people are just sitting around hoping you get syphilis. They're probably hoping way worse things, the really racist ones. They're not even satisfied with the syphilis.
Glad you add that part, the really racist.
I'm just saying, the most racist white guys go, let's give them this curable disease.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so what kind of weird mutated psychopath would even develop something?
Was it treatable back then?
No.
By the end of the study, medical advances meant it was entirely treatable.
So you guys,
Not in the beginning.
hold on.
Yo,
Wait a minute. Hold on.
it works.
Wait.
I didn't want to say it. Hold on, but now that Mark said it, let's have this
Let me read the sentence before that. Hold on.
Wait, I missed it.
Let's get Daryl Cooper on here. He's going to have an alternative take on history.
Can I read the sentence before that on the Wikipedia, Joey? The purpose of the study was to observe the effects of the disease when untreated. So I think they specifically didn't want to treat them to see what happened. I mean, that's the most fucked.
This is just diabolical. We got to figure out who's
Taliaferro Clark?
That's what I'm saying. All the time.
Taliaferro Clark. Taliaferro doesn't sound super white. I'm
Sounds
going to
like-
be
No, no.
honest.
It doesn't feel Jewish.
I was thinking that.
I know.
I was like,
his breath. So Doug was sitting back there waiting for it to be Colin Ginsberg.
Oh, this is a white. That is a white.
that's an Italian.
that's
That's
an
an
Italian.
Italian.
That's
bro.
not an
No, his
Italian.
name is
Taliaferro.
Charles. He looks like Prince Charles, to be honest with you.
No,
Look
his
at
name
that
is
on the left.
Taliaferro. Oh, Charles
Just because you,
Taliaferro.
just 'cause you say it.
Taliaferro.
Charlie Taliaferro.
Taliaferro, Dr. Taliaferro.
And his name is Charles. They're trying to ethnic it up right now to make it.
No, but you always get a
remove
white name when you
accountability.
come to America, so to fucking blame white people for everything.
Yeah, this guy's a fascist Italian, of course. You know what I mean?
We had he's basically a Nazi. What the
Yeah.
Italians back then were Nazis.
Yes,
okay,
yeah.
they saw what the Nazis were doing. We're like, okay, we like that shit. Okay, and some will say it's like they love clothing so much that they're like, oh, whatever. But the reality is they were Nazis. So they came here and they tried to do Nazi shit. That's not on us. White people just became white after that whole syphilis thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, Italians just became white. We never considered them white when they were doing this horrible stuff.
It wasn't until black people got equality that they were like, we need numbers.
Some people say that. I personally don't subscribe to that.
No, I think it wasn't until they came out with a couple of good movies. Now it's like, all right, we want those ones.
Yeah.
I think it was a couple of good movies.
I mean,
Yeah, Godfather put
I was
him on.
making
If
a good point
entertainment
here.
was the metric, y'all would have been accepted way earlier.
Bring up the other guy.
We're not
Raymond
close
Von
enough.
Delaire.
Oh, what's
We
the
can't
other
pass.
guy?
We're not white passing.
Yeah, the other guy part of this experiment.
They tried to take some
Raymond
about half
Von
whites.
Delaire.
Raymond Von Delaire.
Definitely not us. Look at this. He did it.
Well, look at that fucking guy.
Click on his page real quick. Where's this guy
That's
from?
a German.
German.
That's a German name.
That's
right?
a fucking German right there. So you have a Nazi Italian and a Nazi German that developed this disgusting program where they're abusing American citizens.
and accidentally cure syphilis.
listen.
How dare these guys? The audacity. These fucking Nazis come over here and cure syphilis.
The fact that the Wikipedia article in the first paragraph ends with, and then they found a creep. Like, you could have left that shit out completely.
You gotta imagine this guy's son is walking around and be like, they cured it though.
Yeah.
Right? Like, come on.
Damn.
Look, it wasn't good, but look at it.
I think we got to look into the descendants of the Von Delaires and then Taliaferro Clark.
Yeah.
Stop making it ethnic.
I know, right?
Taliaferro.
His name is Charles Clark.
No, his name was Taliaferro Clark. And then the other one is...
We give him a syphilis. Let's shoot them with a little syphilis. Take the mulligan and
Enzo, give me the
syphilis. Little eggplant with the syphilis.
Oh my God.
Oh, there's a racism section that we quickly click away from.
American history sucks.
No.
It's hard.
German Nazis and Italian Nazis that we let into the country suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys let them do this fuck shit.
Listen, bro.
We didn't know
You
what they were
let
going
them
to do.
in the government doing all this.
They gave
fuck
us a good sales pitch. We're going to cure syphilis. We're like, that sounds awesome. By any means necessary. All right, let's look into the means. Okay, can we see what that exactly is going to be?
So that's why now they can only use white mice.
That is a good point. That is an interesting point. It is always white mice, bro.
Can't be any color mice. White ones, bro.
This highlight is rough.
Look
dude.
at this fucking racist guinea right here. Look what he said.
Tagliaferro.
Tagliaferro Clark said, the rather low intelligence of the Negro population, depressed economic condition, and the common promiscuity, sexy relation, not only contribute to the spread of the syphilis, but the prevailing indifference with regards to treatment. That's a fucking Guido if you ever seen one, right? Look at that fucking racist.
I read it with
meatball.
you. I have no idea what you
It's
just said.
disgusting that he would say that.
Does anyone understand what just happened?
Imagine showing up to the Senate or whatever, you got to get approved for this thing, right? And then, we have an idea. We have put the vaccine inside the black people in the fix of the syphilis. And you're a white person that's never even heard an Italian speak before. You're like, oh my God, that sounds like a good idea. Get him the fuck out of here. You sign off on this thing. It's
Why would
horrible.
we trust Italians with science in the first place?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ferrari came in last place this last weekend in F1. The only thing they do good is make cars. They can't even. You know what I mean?
They were popping Galileo, right? Back in
Yeah,
the day.
1500. That's what I'm saying.
Da Vinci.
Renaissance.
They had a good run.
Yeah, 400 years ago.
And they were
yo.
partnered
It's
up
over.
with
I don't even think they were Italian.
Wait, what?
I don't think Galileo was Italian. I don't think Da Vinci was
Da
Italian.
Vinci's not an Italian last name.
I don't think
Leonardo
it's
da
Italian.
Vinci?
I don't believe it.
Wait, why?
It's the only name more Italian than Mark's sons.
How is Luigi Mangione a Italian? What do you mean?
I mean, they're bad people. It's
The Italians?
yeah.
Food is good enough. Though,
Oh
that
my
we'll
God,
never get.
and the culture's amazing. They're so loving and warm.
I will never.
And you go there,
You
and
won't
you're
get
like,
us to do it.
Amalfi is just amazing. They just got it. I just want to hold myself. I just want to hold myself. And you're right, the cinema is fantastic.
Yeah.
Guys, my sellout streak ended. You know, I'd sold out so many shows in a row. I was doing 4,000 tickets in Brea. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Can you believe it? I didn't sell out in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That got to change. We got to get back on track. Omaha, Nebraska. This week, I'm at the Funny Bone. Buy your tickets. Next week, March 28th, I'm in Columbus, Ohio. I know there's a lot of Indians there. You better buy your fucking tickets. April 10th through 13th, I'm going to be making up for those shows in Tampa. Most of the tickets are already sold out. We've added, I don't know if we're going to be able to add any more. Maybe we can find some real estate somewhere, but I don't know if there's any more room to add. So hurry up and buy those tickets. April 17th through 20th, I'm going to be in Denver. And obviously, 420 in Denver at Comedy Works. You know what that means. I'm going to be getting high on stage. Maybe I'll do shrooms. Maybe we'll level it up. So those dates and many more at akashsingh.com. Buy your tickets right now. Let's get back to the show.
What's up, guys? World's fastest ad read. Please don't skip. New York City. I'm going to be doing my monthly show with Joe Avery, March 25th. Bangor, Maine. I'll be there April 26th.
You
Portland,
can
Maine.
bang or suck his
I'll be
dick.
there April 27th. And a bunch of other dates. Charleston, Atlanta, Strasburg, Hoboken, Indianapolis, Raleigh, Portland, Oregon, Fort Worth, Austin, Stanford, Philly, and a bunch of other dates. will be announced soon.
Find places to suck his dick.
Let's get back to the show. Thanks.
But it's really messed up what they did to those black people, man.
Yeah.
And you guys should never forgive them for it, specifically the Germans and the Italians.
Yes.
Thank God for us good whites that stopped that program.
Yeah, but now y'all let them in, so now we hate you all.
Oh, that's on y'all.
That feels like prejudice. That feels like
I'm
racism.
just saying, why'd you let
When
them
you
in?
blame the group for the actions of the few.
Why'd you let them in?
Are you anti-immigration all of a sudden?
All of a sudden. All of a sudden.
They've been anti-immigration since the post show. I'm like, black people have not been supportive of immigration since the fucking transatlantic slave trade. The last thing they want.
We're still saying reverse this shit, bro.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, not a great look.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. On Al's birthday of all days.
Yeah,
The day
happy
he's
birthday, Al.
Right?
Happy birthday, Al.
Thank you, guys.
On Al's 32nd birthday, we're going to bring
Hey.
this shit up.
You're healthy. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
From what I know. Yeah.
37.
Yeah.
Did you ever get
35.
gonorrhea or syphilis or whatever?
No.
What's the one you just take a pill for?
I think that's gonorrhea.
Gonorrhea, yeah.
I don't know.
Who'd we test that on? How'd we
kids.
figure that out?
Yeah.
But like, how'd we figure the cure for gonorrhea?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, isn't there a cure already?
Yeah, how do we get there is what he's
Oh, how did I miss that?
Yeah, like where were the gonorrhea experiments? Is what it's saying. Yeah. Like, what even does gonorrhea do to you? You just get like dick pimples or something?
I don't know why you're looking at me.
You said you had it.
You're the one holding your dick right.
I don't know if I have it.
You said you had one of them.
Why are you-
I said you had
Let me tell
one
you
of
something.
them.
Why are you saying like Let me tell you something.
His dick got defensive.
32 years from now, we're going to find out if I ever had that shit. No, I think I went and I was like, yo, I don't know. This shit feels a little warmer when I pee than usual.
Yeah.
And the doctor was like, listen, you could just take these pills right now for gonorrhea and it'll go away, or you could just wait and see if it goes away automatically, but there's no point in taking the test to see if you have gonorrhea. And I was like, all right, I'll just take them pills.
And it went away?
That shit, I think it did. I don't know.
Wait, what?
You still have gonorrhea?
No, I took the pills.
Yeah.
And it went away.
I think it did.
Or he maybe.
We'll never know. That's the crazy thing. We'll really never know.
Oh, that's a great answer.
You don't get
Such a
tested.
great.
You don't get tested. You can never get shit.
That's crazy that was the prescription. You just went in. He's like, yeah, take it anyway.
Yeah, I was like, yo, I'm peeing and it's like a little warmer by a few degrees than normal.
Doctors are so lazy. They just give me fucking antibiotics or anything. It's like, you got to call
Yeah,
things
it's
of
bacteria,
antibiotics.
so you just give it antibiotics, I guess, and it's like, we're good.
Just do chemo and just in case. You know, why not? Just see.
This is one of the ones that you take the antibiotic. You know, sometimes they're like, oh, it could weaken your immune system. If I might have gonorrhea, give me the fucking antibiotic.
Hell yeah. I was still fucking on that shit. Flamethrower.
You definitely weren't spreading gonorrhea. You definitely weren't doing that.
Holding that shit like Elon.
Were you nutting hard or beyond?
Oh, dude, the nuts were coming out molten lava,
Spicy,
dude.
bro.
Just chunks.
Spicy.
Chunks. That shit was coming out. Chunks.
Oh, bro. Speaking of which, I was
Yes.
holding my little baby over.
Why are we talking about
that was
Come
a
on,
weird
Mark.
No,
transition.
Chunks made me think of
how
it.
you do that, right?
Chunks made
I'm
me
thinking
think
about
of it.
spicy.
Right.
Cheetos coming out his dick and that.
Why are y'all thinking that?
Such a
Why
weird
are y'all?
transition.
You
made
said,
it weird.
speaking of which.
Yeah.
Of chunky, bro. Of chunky. I was holding my little baby near the window, and he threw up onto the radiator.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
That's
started
rough.
to
And
cook.
there's a cover on the radiator, so like it kind of went through the grate all the way down to like the hot part.
no.
Didn't bring it up to anyone. And then we went out of the house for a walk.
Oh, no.
And then the radiator kicked on.
Oh, no.
And he came home. And it was just fucking cheese, dude.
Yeah.
The whole part was fondue. It
Oh,
was
God.
crazy.
So it's just cooking. It's cooking the vomit. Oh, it's vomit hotter.
It's just milk.
Oh. Dude, how do you even clean that if you have a cover for it?
Yeah, we had to like get underneath it, turn it off, wipe it down. Just me, just cleaning up on my wife's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday to your wife.
Yeah.
What'd you get her for her birthday?
This is the most annoying thing. I was like, hey, what do you want for your birthday? Like a thing that I could buy you? Maybe
Yeah.
we could do like an experience. We could get a chef to
Yeah.
come and make
Money
breakfast.
at the problem. It's the best.
She just said, you know what? I would just love to hang out with you.
Oh, you're a horrible husband.
That's the most. That's the most expensive
horrible.
gift. It's the most expensive gift. It's millions of dollars.
We love you.
buy you a
Wives,
house.
we love you.
Yes, yes.
Wives, this is a podcast. We love you. Okay?
Yeah, that's true.
But a chef would have been,
Yeah,
get what
because you
I'm
could have
saying.
knocked that shit out in an hour.
Who knows?
You're
Who knows
done.
what could have
I
happened?
hear
Who knows
you.
where I could have been career-wise?
I don't know if I
Right?
told you this shit, but I was going to the Museum of Natural History with Shiloh. Did I tell you guys this?
Yeah, you did.
And going to the Museum of Natural History with
Yeah,
Shiloh. Whatever. We go to park. Shut up. You of all people.
I know.
Guys, get back.
That's fun to get it back.
Okay, so we go to park and we park on this, like almost like right in front of the Museum of Natural History. I'm like, I don't know if this shit seems right. My wife's driving. She parallel parks. She finally gets into the spot, which is wide open, but it takes her 4 or 5 tries. She goes to pay the meter. As she goes to pay the meter, I'm from New York. I don't trust parking anytime. I see the meter maid walk past us, and I go, "Yo, by the way, can we park here?" And the guy goes, "Nah, you can't park here right now." I go, "Oh, Emma, we can't actually park here." My wife looks at me, she goes, "Oh no, we can't." I go, no, Emma, I just asked the guy who gives the tickets we could park here. She goes, "No, we could park here." I look back at the guy because I'm helpless at this point. I look back at the guy, right? I look back at the guy. The guy looks at me. He goes, he goes, "Good luck, bro." He goes, "Good luck, my boy." The guy who gives the tickets looks at my wife. He goes, "You can't park here." And my wife's like, "That motherfucker don't know what the hell he's talking about."
But he knows that you're right either way. You're in a great position. Because either you move the car and you're right,
Yeah.
or you get a ticket and you come back, you go, "Oh, that's so weird. We got a ticket. I wonder why."
Oh, he knows that I'm going to be fine.
And you're right again.
Yeah.
So he's looking at you like, "Hey, I got you."
No, he's looking at me like, "Man, what this guy got to put up with." He's dressed like a police officer.
Yeah. Which calling him meter maze is hilarious.
I know.
Like-
we are really disrespectful.
New Yorkers kept
Yeah,
on to
because
that.
fuck them.
They're all Indian.
They are.
They're the ops, dude.
They're all
Giving us tickets. Fuck them.
They're all 5'2"
Them and Air
Indians.
India on the ops list.
They don't have one uniform that fits them. Every meter maid I've ever seen is in like a size 3X.
I've
Like
actually never seen an Indian meter maid, but if you gave me a ticket,
all of them,
no, they're all Indian.
they're all like
All the
Sri
traffic
Lankan.
cops are Indian, and all the meter maids are in it.
I've seen West Indian traffic cops.
Come on,
No,
with the
no.
West Indian.
All the disappointing Indians are meter maids or comics.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and their outfits are always too big. Like, and they walk around. They got the big thing on their side, and then they give everyone tickets. Yeah, it's very annoying.
Bro, my wife has been girl mathing tickets where she's convinced herself.
Yeah, we've already.
She keeps on doing this shit to me. She's like, man, Uber is so expensive.
Yeah.
I'll be like, what? She's like, yeah, have you taken an Uber lately? It's like so expensive. I go, yeah, I guess maybe it's gone up a little bit. She's like, no, it's like crazy. Like every time you get an Uber, it's like $35. And I go, $35? That's pretty specific. And I go, why are you saying that? She's like, yeah, thank God. Like that's why I drive everywhere. Like, and then she's like, yeah, like even if I get like a ticket, it's actually like cheaper when you think about it if I don't take an Uber. I open up one of my drawers. I thought she was giving out tickets. Like I thought that there was like 30 tickets in the fucking drawer. And in her mind, she's like, but I'm saving us money.
Look
Like,
at how much
thank
money
God.
we're making.
This is money saved. This is $5 saved
Yo,
each one of these
that's
tickets.
Oh man.
That's lit. Yo, even if you pay the shits off, eventually when you get too many, they just revoke shit. So
What do you mean? They take your car?
no, your registration. Like they'll revoke
Wait,
it
really?
if you get too many tickets. Yeah.
But can I just tell them that how Uber's so expensive?
Yeah.
What if I say that? What if I send a letter to?
Because they did that shit to me once when I was doing that same girl map. I used to do it back in the day. I was like, instead of a parking garage, I'm like, yeah, I just get the $35.
I thought about that.
This is
so more expensive.
This is how
I've had
expensive.
that thought.
So no. So this is how expensive New York is. It's actually cheaper to not do a parking garage and just get tickets and leave your car on the street.
I mean, I guess depending on how many times you get tickets.
Well, no, you'll get tickets the exact amount of times.
If you
keep your
get a ticket every time once a week, it might be $60.
You're only getting 2 tickets a week, right? Because you can't go Tuesday and Thursday.
Okay.
So you get 2 tickets a week. That is, let's say it's $60 a ticket, $120. 4 weeks in a month. What is that? $480?
Okay.
So $480. A parking garage like in Manhattan is $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
It's half the price to just get tickets.
Yeah.
So anybody that has a garage in the city, it's so your car doesn't get broken into.
And that's why New York picked up on game, and they're like, "No, you keep getting too many tickets. We're gonna
have to punish
take your car."
Well, have you seen the new thing where they don't even put a boot on you? They just put a blindfold on your car.
No.
Have you seen this?
No.
This is hilarious.
I saw a boot last week.
Really? No. The new thing apparently is like they just put this giant like mat that like sticks to your window, so you can't see out the windshield.
And they can only get it off with a special solvent.
Well, that was the idea
know
with
what?
the go.
Oh, probably because there's groups of people you can call on now,
And they'll
to get the boot.
They'll
off.
take the boot off.
I saw a guy drive the boot, break the shit, fuck up his own car, got out of there, dog. It was unbelievable.
You kind of got to respect.
You want to play a game? The game is called Guess What Race He Was.
Was he part of the syphilis
Oh, this is
But I look at this, I'm like, oh, I could drive around that. Like you pop your head out the window, and I think you easily.
I think
can get
that's
away
the
with
problem. People started driving with their head out the window.
it. But do they track them? They must have trackers or something, right?
probably.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
I took the boot off at college.
How?
I just took the wheel off, put the spare on.
Did you really?
I drove to where our campus security was, and I was like, "Hey, take this off with the tire."
Oh, you took the entire wheel off.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then I put the spare on, and I drove away. I was like, "I have shit to do today."
Yo, low key, how much is a new wheel? I bet you a new wheel is cheaper.
Oh, I mean, if you do a Persian tire change,
What is that?
where you rent the same car that you have, switch out all the tires,
these-
and then return your car.
Oh shit.
This is why you can't have immigration, bro. This is the problem with immigration.
You never heard of the Persian tire change?
No,
I wish I'd done that.
Bro, this shit is Dove is silent right now. Dove is silent. Okay, this is
Buddy, G-Wagon, one day, buddy. Just one G-Wagon.
no, this is yep.
Holy
Yep.
shit.
Genius.
Yeah,
Because we
like-
don't even think about it because we're like good people. But when if you come from a place where you don't get rewarded for being good, you go, okay, I'll just take advantage.
But also, if you're screwing over like fucking, I don't know, some car dealer or some car rental. Car rental people are such scumbags anyway. I'm like, whatever.
They're people too, Mark.
Wait, why are they scumbags?
All the car rental people are just the worst. You rent a car, you show up, it's not the car you wanted. They're like, oh, we could put you in a Fiat. And you're like, I'll just kill myself. Like, I'd rather not.
Dude. I think think I've told you guys the story, but like
The most emotional I've seen Mark. Most feelings, no facts take Mark's ever had.
One of the funniest parts about going to St. Bart's is everybody lands at this little fucking airport, right? It's just all these like rich people from fucking New York or whatever, and all these other places, Miami, and like they have already signed up and they've done their like rental car thing. And in the picture, they're all getting like a fucking drop top, beautiful, whatever, right? And they show up and they go to this little shitty kiosk, and there's like some French girl there, and she hands them the keys to like a Volkswagen Cabriolet with like 3 tires. And just seeing these people go, I ordered a G-Wagon. I ordered like this absolute pandemonium that they're not getting the exact car that they wanted. You're in a fucking random island in the middle of the Caribbean. Like, but I, to be honest, like low key, maybe you're right. Like there's just blatant lying when it comes to the rental.
He's on point. I rent cars a lot because it's like traveling and I need it for the equipment and shit like that.
Yeah.
You never get the car you paid for. And then they try to look for little scratches on it and shit and say you did it.
Yeah.
Like I've had so many times they try to say like, oh, you got into an accident or side swipe or some bullshit. And I'm like, no, I didn't. Like I know I didn't.
Oh, they'll try to put that on you.
Yeah. So now it's like whenever I rent a car, I'll just take pictures of it all around the car. So, and I've been able to fight 2 times they attempted that shit on me. I was like, hey, look at this picture. Look at it's dated. There's nothing here. Look at the picture when I returned it.
So that shit is racism, bro. Because I've never once been asked if I did something to mess up a car. And I've messed up maybe like 100.
You have a D class on your license.
Every single time. I'm D. I got a D.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's a single time I've rented a car and I haven't done something wrong to it.
Yeah.
Swear to God. Like, every single time.
Parking brake on the whole time.
I go get groceries, I slam it into the cart, and then, and never once have they even asked.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's why I just do like the private car rental where you just rent it from like a dude.
Yeah.
I love those.
Verbo, is that what's called?
Turo. Those are great. I put one into a snowbank one time. It just like spun out, hit the snowbank. And Alicia, my wife, was so pissed. I was like, take a picture. It's kind of funny. She's like, I'm not taking a picture. Just sat in the car the whole time in the snowbank, like leaning over.
How'd you guys get out of
A
this?
dude just pulled up. Some random dude, Nacho, was just like, oh, I got you. And then pulled us out. And then I called up the guy. I was like, hey, I put it in a snowbank. He was like, it happens. Don't worry. Give me $300. I just gave him cash and it was fine.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it went away.
Legend.
It was great. You're just dealing with real people, you know?
Real people.
Not these corporations.
Not these corporations.
These corporate
dude.
interests.
These fucking evil
It's fucking
corporations.
oligopoly we live in, you know?
Yeah, dude. Fucking oligopoly.
Mangione, bro.
What else is going on, boys? Explain this Ruby Franke shit to me.
This shit was awesome.
Okay.
Can we get a picture of Ruby Franke?
Before the pod, everybody has been saying, yo, you need to learn about this Ruby Franke story. What is it?
Ruby Franke.
Is it one person?
Yeah. Well, technically, it's many people.
Yeah.
Okay, just break the whole thing down. I have no clue what this is.
All right, so this
I'm
girl, Ruby
curious.
Franke here, right? 2015, she starts posting a family vlog called 8 Passengers on YouTube. It goes dumb viral. She gets millions of followers. She's making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month doing a family vlog. Yeah, she's Mormon, lives out in Utah.
So like Passengers is like Passengers of God.
6 kids, husband, wife. And she's just filming the daily life of like the kids.
Yeah.
And from when the kids are young. Like one of the kids isn't even born yet. Like all the kids are like 10-ish, 12-ish. And then slowly the content gets bigger and bigger, but also like a little bit more aggressive. And she has this like very
What do you mean by aggressive?
like she's like putting like the kids like, oh, my daughter's first period, or like, oh, my son's using deodorant, or like he's going through puberty, like putting out stuff that's
And
very
one of the
private.
girls is saying
Really
like,
getting in there, my boy.
I got a lot of lip.
Like,
Yo, don't do that.
Don't do
Don't do that.
I got a lot of lip. You wouldn't know nothing about that. This should be hanging on your teeth.
motherfucker's like,
I got a lot of lip. I got a lot of mouth.
you look like
Okay?
a fiend, dog. You look like a
really
straight.
do.
I think he put it in his
Heroin
nose.
addict.
I think he went around
You gotta
the
get it
top.
up there to the gum. I don't want to waste nothing on the teeth, man. I want it going right to the gum so it goes right to the
My
source.
bad.
Can we talk about
That
Ruby
shit-
Franke and this murderous bitch? She killed the kids? Is that what happened?
Didn't murder
No,
him.
she ain't murdered nobody.
So what's the do?
All right.
Go.
The girl was saying early on, like one of the kids I think was saying like it felt like our whole childhood revolved around her wanting to film us, and like that was what life was. Like her being like, we need to film this thing. We didn't have like our own life. It's just her thing.
that's
But then
unfortunate.
it continues to
And so then
devolve.
she puts one of the kids, she's like, hey, you don't have a bedroom anymore. You have to sleep on a beanbag chair. Like one of the kids is like acting out. He's not being obedient. And like obedience is like the most righteous virtue within the family. If you're not obedient, you're being of the devil. And so she eventually links up with this therapist that starts working with the family to get the family
Sorry,
to be
slow
more
down.
obedient.
You heard that, right? She took the kid's bedroom away, the bed away. He had to sleep on a beanbag for months. Like,
White people.
We've all seen.
Oh my god! A beanbag?
We've all seen what
way.
kind of father he is.
I know.
And for him to act like he would ever be like okay with anything remotely approaching this is so funny.
My daughter would never just make that. Never disrespect me.
Wouldn't
in a
have a demon in
household.
her.
Are you kidding me? It would never be a situation like that. Clearly.
Okay.
And
Anyway.
then it
Sleep on a
escalates.
beanbag. I mean, if I just sleep on like a hard wooden floor, sure, but a beanbag is pretty sick.
It's kind of sick. It's kind of chill.
Yeah.
Beanbags sort of
that
cool.
is better.
How old is the kid?
like probably 15, 16.
I thought it was like a 4-year-old or something like that.
That was like 15,
It's
16.
like a teen.
That's the kid?
Yeah,
it's a few
he's
years
a
later,
stud.
but
Kid's
yeah.
a stud, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay.
But basically, she gets this therapist involved, and the therapist is like, I'm kind of a man hater. She's like, men are the problem. She gets her husband into the
Also,
therapy
not
group.
like a real PhD. Like, what are they? Licensed clinical worker or whatever the fuck nonsense.
Yeah.
It becomes basically a cult where like now she brings this girl Ruby Franke into like her group and now is like her co-host on a bunch of the content, and then she stops doing YouTube content and just like isolates the family, isolates the parents away, or like, isolates the dad, so the dad gets kicked out of the house, and her starts hooking up with the therapist in their own house.
Who?
Ruby Franke and the
Ruby Franke
therapist.
starts
The
therapist basically does a
I
great
think
job.
that was strongly alluded. They don't know
Is
for
the
sure.
therapist a male or female?
Female.
She's
And
a woman, man hating, and then
These Mormons are so easy to gay up. Do you guys remember that horrendous documentary where the guy fucked the
what did
whole
he say?
family?
It's just a hand
yes.
job or something. It's just it's kid stuff. It's just kid stuff about a hand job to another dude.
Remember the guy who was disgusting, but he had sex with the dad, the
Oh, yeah,
mom,
yeah.
and the daughter. Remember?
yeah,
It was
yeah,
like
yeah.
horrendous. Like if the daughter wasn't involved, it'd be hilarious. But he did do it to the daughter as well. But there's something about it's not just Mormons, I want to say. I think they're the most extreme example of Americans. But I think Americans, since we grow up believing that we can achieve anything, we are probably the most gullible culture. And I think this is why that we accept conspiracies so willingly. Like there's another part where like the government is obviously lied and these institutions take advantage of us. Absolutely, of course. But because we grow up and every single one of us is like, I'm going to be a millionaire when I grow up. Of course I am. I'm going to be the most famous person. I'm going to be the most successful. There's no version of us that is like, I can't go past my class. I can't achieve these things. We believe we can do anything. So you could turn them into lesbians, right? Like you could flip them. It's really interesting.
But theirs is like
We're the
religious-
cults. There's cults don't exist outside of America, right?
Nah, wasn't.
Where are there cults that are this popular?
Jim
Like,
Jones was probably not in America, right? He was in South America.
But he started in America.
no, I started. You motherfucker got a crack in here, bro. This is where you make your bones.
Are gypsies considered a cult?
No.
No, but like
fire.
Japan had a famous one. They did the sarin gas attacks in the subway.
They had one cult. What I'm saying is we got a million. We have so many different cults. We don't know which one drank the Kool-Aid and they all died. Like there's like hundreds
The
of
most
them.
poppin' cults have religiosity tied in. That's why, like the Caribbean, I think they could be they're slightly more believable on like spiritual shit. Like if you were to tell a Jamaican, be like, "Yo, I saw this guy was talking to me. He flew." Like
Yeah.
I think it'd be a little easier to get a Jamaican guy to be like, "Wait, for real?"
Every American would believe you in a heartbeat. Have you seen the way that Americans react to like mentalists?
Yeah.
Do you know, like when they go, and what you're thinking of is Deborah, and they're like, Deborah. Like if you do that in France, like, oh yes, you get some Deborah. Okay, this is very nice. Like there's no reactivity in Europe to that kind of shit. They're like, oh, magic. Okay, very nice, a good trick.
I think it's God. I think if you
I
grew up
think
with
God.
like a religious underpinning,
God.
that's why I believe in demons, even though I don't.
Yes,
You do. Yes, you fucking do.
We believe in everything. I think God maybe is part of it, but I also think there's something like culturally, pushing this belief in the impossible, where I think there's like a restrictive belief in other. Like in Scotland, they're not believing none of this shit. Like where my mom grew up, it was like, hey, this is where you are. You're going to stay right here, and that is it, and you better accept it and love it, right? This is like this kind of British class system that everybody lives in, and you can go within this range, but if you go out, if you're really putting in effort, you're a real keener.
Are they super religious in Scotland?
They're like tribally.
Yeah, I think in general, some people will take some specific random part of the Bible that's crazy, and then there's demons probably talked about in the Bible, and then that just becomes all of what it's about.
Yeah.
So this one was literally Jody, the therapist, was like, "I'm possessed by a demon. That's why I need to move into your guys' house with all your kids."
Yeah, her house was possessed. Her
So
house,
she
had a
moves
mansion.
in with the family of 8 people, and is having exorcisms on camera. They're like filming it. The girl's like,
Oh, shit.
get out of her, like doing an exorcism.
They kick the daughter out of her room, so then she gets a room in the house. So she slowly like works her way into like a pretty good system. And every time that like she wouldn't get what she wants, or like it wasn't happening fast enough, she'd be more possessed.
Yeah.
And then she gets up to the top bedroom, and then she's having these demon problems overnight. So the wife would leave the husband in their bed. Mind you, the husband went through hell in this experience. He first got on steroids. He didn't get juice, but he got incredibly fit because the wife, the original Ruby Franke, was like, "You're the man of the house. You need to like
be Diesel."
I want to keep listening to this.
I watched the Hulu doc. I didn't see any of that.
Hold on.
part.
Could this happen in Italy? No way. And they are Catholic. Like what I'm saying is, could this happen in France? No way. It's not happening in Greece. It's not happening anywhere else. We have
But the first thing you pointed out was Mormons.
Oh, yeah.
And there was the other one too, and this one.
But I think that Mormons are the most extreme version of Americans, right? It's like to believe their thing. Like, have you looked into their belief system? No knock on the Mormons, but it's some wild shit. Like the Native Americans made it over to Jerusalem, then pulled back.
Yeah.
Jesus came to America. Fire.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think there
Smith
is
and
something
Rita.
in our DNA. Maybe it is like, maybe that we are these like risk takers from the rest of the world, right? We leave the rest of the world, leave our families because we really truly believe that we can do anything in America.
Yeah.
So that type of belief system, which is amazing, is what America, thrives off of, also lends us to believe anything could be possible. And that's why you see these cults sprout up. And I think religiosity helps
I think we're splitting hairs. I agree. There's, I think we're just disagreeing on the percentage.
Yeah.
That's it. I agree with you. That is part of it.
I wonder if cryptos is popular in Europe. Like, I bet you it's not. I bet you they're like, it's just letters. There's no way you could possibly make. And every American's like, this is the new fucking me. I'm like, I watched one documentary on the Fed and I'm like, these motherfuckers. It takes one video to flip the entire country.
Yeah.
How the fuck do they give us all this information? Like, do you know what I mean? This is insanity. We are vulnerable.
Yeah. I feel like where life is pretty good, I feel like you're not going to get into it as much. Like remember when we were at the pool in Arizona, we met those British people, they're like crypto millionaires, and like their teeth were rotted out and they're all in blow.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, crypto, it's a new thing, bro. If you guys go get on it. And I was just like, oh, this is the end. This is like, we're looking at the end right in the face. Just like these fat British people like, yes, we're putting all the money in crypto. They're probably billionaires at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably made a lot of money.
Yeah, dude.
Anyway.
Yeah, keep going on this. So husband gets on steroids. He gets fit.
The husband just got really screwed in the whole process.
He's also kind of like a dumb seeming guy, easily manipulated. He's so in love with his wife. He's like so cucked out. He just goes along with everything she wants.
And then what the therapist does is genius. She has a men's group. This woman, Hildebrand, has a men's group that they have to meet on Zoom every week. And then they talk about the shame of like looking at pornography, lust, and not loving and having sex through love, but through lust. And she uses the husband as the beacon of hope. She's like, oh yeah, the husband's been doing great. He's the best. He's the best. He's the best. Builds him up into this like godlike character. And then once she gets in the house and she now wants the husband away from the wife, she just every week starts laying into him. For months, she starts going, do you feel bad about your shame? I know you're having lustful thoughts. She starts attacking him, making him an outsider inside of the group that he used to be at the top of. So now he wants her approval so badly. So he'll do anything for this therapist.
Yeah. I think he like watched pornography one time that month, and she's like, that's why there's demons in the house.
And then
come on, bro. I know. This is only in America. Like we need to start like just being honest with ourselves. And we can be a little better about the demon stuff. Mark is one of the smartest people we know. He believes in demons.
I know, yeah.
He's also the most religious person I know.
This guy's barely even religious. Talk about the most religious person you know. He doesn't eat sugar.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
When was the last time you went?
During Lent, he's repping his shit.
Bro, I've been going every Sunday in Lent.
In Lent. Yeah. So one Sunday.
Yeah, so far.
He went 1 week.
Yeah, I'm on a streak.
This is the most religious person you know. This guy right here. You know Dove.
Yeah, when was the last time you went to synagogue?
He goes every single morning.
He goes every day.
Every day?
Yeah,
he eats
praying for gospel.
Damn it.
He does lobster though.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I mean with the diet.
And Chixas.
No, he's off the Chixas.
You're
he's
off the Chixas.
Yeah.
That's great. Congrats.
I love it.
Don't ever say I've never lied for you. Don't ever say I never lied for you, Doug. Okay? But yeah, but there's something about us, man. We'll believe it. And every single New Yorker thinks the Knicks are going to win the championship every single year.
Because we are.
Every single Dallas Cowboys fan thinks it outside of you. Outside of you.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
have this, like, there's this beautiful delusion we have. It allows us to create the greatest thing.
I
Please.
think the delusion in America specifically is imbued with religiosity because of manifest destiny.
Yes.
The whole point of America is like, yo, anything's possible and you can make all the money you want because God wants you to.
Well, can you explain specifically what manifest destiny is? How that plays a part in...
You can go west as far as you want and colonize and kill all the natives because
that's what
gives a
God
fuck.
wants.
Because this is what God wants.
Hey, what did JFK say? Was it JFK or was it Roosevelt? Like, God is on our side. Like, we're going to win this war.
Yeah, Roosevelt.
It was Roosevelt,
Yeah,
right?
World
it was
War II.
Yeah, it was like, I forget exactly how he said it, but essentially it's like God is on our side. And we're all like, oh, word?
Fire.
All right, let's go. Storm the
Yeah.
beach.
Yeah.
And then the first line of Americans just got murdered and they were like, yo, God, you want to pull up? Like, what the fuck? You're a little late here. But
God's
like,
on the third line.
No, yeah.
God will come up
But yeah,
the rear.
That also makes sense with the Mormonism thing. Like they are the manifest destiny religion. They
Yes.
keep going west
American
trying to find-
primeval?
Yeah, they're
You seen
trying
that shit?
And there's some wild boy. Yo, shout out to Mormons. I know it sounds like we're bagging on Mormons. Like incredibly impressive, like what they've created. Like I think this idea of Mormonism is that there's these dopes and they go live in Ethiopia and then they come back here and then they kind of just settle in Salt Lake and nothing really happens. It's like that thing. What is it called? Where they go for 2 years? The mission is like this beautiful.
Yeah, dude.
You basically get your business acumen locked in for 2 straight years, right? You learn sales in the toughest environment possible. You learn another language. You're trying to sell God to people who don't want it.
Dealing with rejection of the most personal thing in your life.
The thing that means the most to you.
Oh, wow.
Getting smacked in the face, and you're put in a lot of them like really tough situations. So they develop that skill to deal with rejection. They develop an amazing skill to sell. And by the end of it, you're not knocking on doors. You're running a team of people that are knocking on doors.
Oh, really?
So they come out of that with this like understanding of how a business should function, learning another language, and knowing how to manage other people in like really desperate situations. So of course they come back here and they thrive and they become like the largest, landowners in America or something like that. Like
They run multinational corporations like
churches large.
and we just call them goofballs because they have some like weird beliefs, but they're on that
both.
action.
They're both.
It's a boot camp.
They are both.
But like, if you look at like Mormon business people, there's so many. Like the Mary Kay girls that do all the makeup, the
Are they
MLM
Mormon?
makeup. That first girl was Mormon. There's like a whole subgenre of like Mormon mom talk, like where it's just like TikTok influencers that sell clothing and makeup and shit.
Yeah.
All Mormon, all
Love.
know each other. Just like no shame regarding like selling themselves because
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, bro, I fucking go around and talk to people about Jesus.
yeah.
I mean, it's actually. JetBlue, Black and Decker, SkyWest, Marriott. It's a lot.
I'm raising my kids Mormon. I've always said this.
Son, Mitt Romney.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bain Capital, the legend.
And I think, who were we talking to? We were talking to somebody about like how they justify that. Because the idea, I think, with Bain, and I could be messing this up, but you're essentially like taking over businesses that are in distress and then like building them back up. And you got to fire like maybe 10,000 fucking people when you do that. Yeah. And it's just like, how do you deal with that as like a Mormon, as a God-fearing person? Like you could negatively impact 10,000 people's lives. And I think the justification was, yeah, but I'm saving the other 20,000 that work at that company. And what would happen to them if the whole company went out of business? Like, so you can retrofit any justification that's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Like they're fucking impressive. But like most Americans, they will believe whatever the fuck sounds most interesting.
Yeah.
I think Mormons are also like the highest tithing group of people. So like a lot of times they can justify business decisions through the fact that the more money they are making,
They give back to the church.
10% always goes to the church pre-tax.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to take a break for a second. We got to talk about one of the healthiest sources of protein on planet Earth. It's bone broth.
Yes.
Okay, broth from the bone. Straight from the bone. It's natural. It's got gelatin and amino acids to support digestion, collagen to help repair cartilage and support flexibility, immune health, and much more. And one of the most delicious ways to drink bone broth is with kettle and fire using real high quality bones, 100% grass-fed beef bones and organic free-range chicken bones. This is hands down, the best tasting bone broth on the market. They don't use anything weird, nothing artificial, simple ingredients, okay? This is a company that doesn't sacrifice a single standard. If you want to add some protein into your favorite dishes, Kettle and Fire is a perfect way to sneak it in. Or if you're fasting, a little bone broth goes a long way to support an extended fast. Mark and Alex are actually about to do a fast, and they are going to use Kettle and Fire to make sure they reach their goals. They're about to get shredded up, and if you want to join them, head over to kettleandfire.com/flagrant and use our code FLAGRANT at checkout to get 20% off your first order. Trust me right now, this is the best bone broth in the business, okay? Get that protein in. Make the rice with the bone broth. That's what we're doing, okay? You could use water to make the rice, or you could use the bone broth and have that nice protein-filled rice. How you think E. Honda got that diesel? That's kettleandfire.com/flagrant, okay? Flagrant for 20% off. That's kettleandfire.com/flagrant. Flagrant for 20% off. Now let's get back to the show. All right, guys, let's take a break for a second. Listen, I know some of you are probably sitting at your desks, you're working, you're exhausted. You might be tired of that job. You might be tired of that task, but you don't have to be tired. You could just be annoyed. Okay? You could have full energy and just be annoyed by those tasks. You could have full energy and you could just be perturbed by those tasks. How are you going to have the full energy? Not with that crappy Lumen drip coffee that you got in the office. What you need is Black Rifle energy, okay? This thing right here could stop a school shooting. Okay? There is a lot of data on that. There's a lot of data that this right here could stop a school shooting. It comes in 4 different flavors with 200 milligrams of naturally sourced caffeine and 0 sugar. How many people do you know that could stop a school shooting with no sugar?
Maybe the veterans. This company that's veteran-led.
Veteran-owned, veteran-led, veteran-founded, and they proudly, and I say proudly, support the stopping of school shootings.
Yes.
And keeping you with a full amount of energy in your tank. Black Rifle Energy has got, yes, you know the Black Rifle coffee, obviously delicious, okay? Obviously keeping you up, but when you need that extra punch, okay? When you see some little incel walking through the halls and you're like, I got to do something about this. That's when you slurp down one of these Black Rifle Energies, okay? And then you do unthinkable things to that kid.
Then you defend America.
Then you, I mean, yeah,
Like
then you defend
and
America.
a portion of the proceeds always go to the veterans.
God bless them.
Doing good for America.
Bless them, okay?
Don't drink that lib coffee from some purple hair non-binary barista.
Yeah. Don't do that, okay? Go to blackriflecoffee.com. Get yourself some Black Rifle coffee. Get yourself some Black Rifle energy. And use the code FLAGRANT for 30% off today. Now let's get back to the show.
The woman's convinced the whole time while she's doing the YouTube channel. She's like, the reason it's going well is because we're promoting God and LDS to the world. Like, that's the reason God is blessing.
And she changes the handle from like, what is it, 8 passengers to what? Like,
Moms of Truth.
Moms of Truth, yeah. So this girl is like a part of, now it's them too.
Yeah.
Not even the family, but she's still like, you can describe
She
it.
basically kicks out the oldest son, the oldest daughter. They go to college and they have complete cutoff. They can't talk to the family at all. She says, if you talk to the family, you're going to be bringing more demons into the house. So for the sake of the family, don't talk to us.
The oldest son gets kicked out because he masturbates. You're missing a main detail. The woman,
How did she find out?
The therapist is living in the house and also is his therapist and is also manipulating the oldest son and being like, tell me what you've done wrong. I know something went wrong. I know you have guilt on your conscience. He's like, all right, I got a hand job. I drank little alcohol and I looked at porn. And then that gets back to the mother. And then the mother goes, oh, the reason this house is cursed, the reason that the woman is still being possessed by the devil is because you're in the house doing sinful things. You have to leave. He leaves at 17. The older daughter's in college. And this is when the father is also being like excommunicated from the family. And the woman is now having these like these demon possessions overnight. And the wife would go to the husband and be like, hey, I need to go upstairs. I think if I stay with her tonight, the demons won't affect her. And this is where the like hookup accusations start to build.
The daughter in the documentary says, I believe they were hooking up. Which is kind of far. Like, I mean, it's insane.
What does the therapist look like?
Not cute.
Yeah, tough look.
Not cute.
Tough look.
There's like videos of them on a jet ski and they're like so like lesbian cute. They're like holding on to each other and she's like, I'm gonna go so fast. And she's like, don't throw me off.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. She was sitting front row at the
Maple
Leafs
Leafs
game.
game.
Yeah.
I must have fell asleep for part of this shit because I don't remember that.
Oh yeah.
So then basically for 9 months, this woman and the therapist are raising the 4 other kids. The husband's out of the picture, 2 oldest kids are out of the picture, and then she just starts abusing the shit out of the 2 youngest kids. This is where it gets super fucked up. And
Who
so
was abusing them?
the 2 of them together.
The 2 moms.
Jesus.
Husband's kicked out of the house. He has no idea what's going on, but he's so brainwashed and was so pussy whipped over this girl that like on these calls, he just assumes he's the problem and everything's gonna get better. No check-in with his kids. I think his oldest daughter tried to text him. Hey dad, just want to let you know I love you, thinking of you. He hearts it and then 1 minute later unhearts it because he's so worried about, like crossing his wife essentially. Even though he's already been kicked out for months, maybe a year. He's like so worried about crossing the mom and losing her. Shit. He said like I chose her over my kids every single time.
So moves the 2 youngest kids away from their childhood home into the therapist's house, which is like on a compound far out in Utah.
It's a mansion in like the desert. Like there's no one around for an acre, 2 acres, 3 acres.
And like the house is like retrofit. It's got like bunkers underneath. It's got like a safe with like a panic room. It's got like food prepped for months.
How does she have money?
From doing this cult, basically.
Yeah, she basically runs like one of the best therapy situations, and I don't want to say it's like the church isn't helping her, but the church is telling people you can go to her.
It was like Hustlers University for soccer moms.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. And so the kids end up getting abused. Like they have to like go stand in the sun. They have to jump on a trampoline for like 12 hours a day. They force them to like run in like 110-degree weather. And then at one point they're just like bound with like ropes in the basement, just like tied up. And the mom documents everything in these journals. Everything, word for word.
And the vlogs start getting darker. Like if your kid is, it is principle over everything. If your kid has to die for the principles to work, then that's what it is. It doesn't matter. The punishment needs to be more severe.
Killer.
Yeah.
So the way they found out is that the kid, the boy that's tied up, escapes from the house. The therapist leaves the door open. He escapes from the house, runs across the street, like all the way down the driveway, like to the nearest neighbor, knocks on the door, and then the neighbor shows up.
Kid's about to walk away because the neighbor's an old person. Takes him a while to get to the door. Kid just kind of, you see it on the ring cam. He starts walking away. He's like almost at the street. And then luckily the neighbor opens the door and the kid is like, hey, can you do me 2 favors? And the neighbor's like, kind of like, what? What are they? And then he's like, I just need one. Can you call the cops? I'm worried about my sister and me or something like that.
The video's on a ring cam too.
Yeah.
Like the kid walks up on a ring
It's
cam.
kind of heartbreaking, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like, I cried watching
the dad, like this is an old man. He's like, why don't you have a seat here? Then I guess his wife brings out like a banana and some water. The dad calling the cops is looking at the kid. He's like bound at the ankles, duct tape on his ankles, all bloody, emaciated, like super skinny. And then he starts crying. This old guy just looking at this kid. He's like, what's happening to these kids is awful. And then apparently he has a sister in the house too. So then
SWAT comes in, raids the whole house, rescues the sister.
And this
Finds the
bitch,
sister,
the therapist, when she answers the door, she goes, I'm on the phone with my lawyer. Like already she knows.
She knows.
So I would say this mom is probably schizophrenic. Like the way she talks about demons and she says, I'm on a mission from God. Yeah. These are things I have very like basic understanding of schizophrenia. That's like, these are things that a schizophrenic person might think. That like there's demons in the house and I'm on a mission from God, blah, blah, blah. This therapist is a dirty, dirty bitch. And the dad is a cuck for just letting this all happen. To me. Like, that's my takeaway.
So then basically go to court. They both plead guilty to 6 counts of like child abuse. And they both get like 30, 40 years in prison.
The daughter was when they found the daughter, she was like upstairs in a room, like her hand like this. You know what I mean? Like her knees tucked against her chest.
In like a closet, in the back of the closet.
And the cop is trying to talk to her. She won't speak. Like it's so sad. So he's just like calling for whatever backup or like welfare or whatever, CDC or whatever the fuck. Oh, and people had been in Utah, her neighbors, it's Utah, they're probably all friendly with each other. Yeah. They were all concerned and they had called for welfare checks. Multiple neighbors and the oldest daughter called for a welfare check. I want a welfare check for my brothers and sisters. I don't think they're okay. And then the cops weren't allowed to get a search warrant because the judge said, one of the neighbors was asked, have you seen evidence of physical abuse? And because the neighbor said no, the cop was like, you can't give him a search warrant. So this goes on for 10 months. So if that kid doesn't escape and they die, frankly, it's also on the judge for never once being like, yo, you're allowed to go do a welfare check. And to be honest, we have a neighbor who says some crazy shit to their kid. Like, you're a fucking psychopath, like nasty shit to their kid. You're fucking insane. What are you doing? Like, we're hearing things Horrendous. We called Child Protective Services, CPS or whatever. And then they were like, if you don't have evidence that the kids are being physically abused, there's nothing we can do. I'm sorry.
So verbal abuse doesn't...
It doesn't count. And she was like, the same thing they said to her. The lady on the phone was like, I'm with you. And the shit this mom says, I was going to go over and knock on the door and be like, what the fuck is going on? And my wife was like, you cannot call let's call CPS. Let's do this the right way, but you cannot go over there. And I was like, I'm going to go check in on the kid and be like, yo, are you okay? I hear what she's saying to you. And she's like, dog, this woman is clearly crazy. Yeah. You have somewhat of a public profile. You don't know what you could say about you. Trying to groom this kid or whatever. So it's like, you call CPS, you try to do the right thing. Nobody shows up. Nobody talks to her. Still hears shit. It's like crazy. And we live in like a nice building.
So what happens to that kid?
I don't know. I see him. I try to just be like, hey, what's up, man? Everything okay? He is withdrawn. Head is always down. And it's just like, yeah, your mom is saying horrendous shit to you.
Yeah, it sucks because I think if you call like CPS and you like lie, you can get charged with like fraud and like actually it's a crime if you do some shit like that. It's almost like swatting.
Right, that makes sense.
But I mean, if you hear somebody that's verbally abusing their child, you should be able to...
They can't do anything about that. But imagine if he calls and be like, oh, I seen her hit the child and he lied about that shit, then it's like he can get in trouble.
I mean, you could say you heard it, what sounded like it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, just the shit. I can't even think of it because it's all right on the spot and whatever. But like the shit she says is just like we hear it from our room and in like apartment nearby, and we're like down the hall. People have been like talking to us like, "What the fuck is going on in there?"
See, that shit scares the fuck out of me because that kid turns into a school shooter.
Truly,
that's the one too. It's like
head down all the time. Withdrawn. How old? 15.
Oh, you could talk to a 15-year-old.
Nah. I ain't talking to nobody's kid.
Really?
I ain't talking.
He had a rule. All right. He had a strict rule.
What's his
when
rule?
you're in college, you can't talk to.
They were good guys.
Oh, that's funny.
I also think though there's a conversation about all of these mommy vloggers. Like, I see my wife sees a couple of them. Some of them will just have their kids like in the background of a video as a part of like, hey, here's a day in my life. My kid went to whatever. Some of them will make their kids the center of the video. And there's an Indian girl who does it.
Right.
And like, she has just a daughter who's to me just an adorable girl, but she wears glasses. And I know how this fucking internet thing works. I know we all know how the comment section works. My wife was watching it and I was getting like fucking furious before Jocelyn got on TikTok. And she was like, why are you so angry? And I was like, dog, this girl is going to start seeing negative comments. She's a fucking baby. This is going to fuck her up mentally. She has no consent in this. Why are you putting her on fucking video? Do you care about your kids at all? Or are you just so fucking talentless that you'll do whatever it takes to get a few views? Well, I was like livid about it.
The Ruby thing is crazy because she's forcing the kids to do stuff. She's like, hey, act sad. Hey, be sad in this one. And the kid's like, Mom, I don't really want to do this.
Yeah, I think larger conversation, all them fucking parent vloggers, if your kid is the center of a video, your account should be banned.
Well, did you see what happened in California?
Also, it's child labor.
Well, yeah.
California's legislated against this. California right now just started a law where if your child is 60% of your content, you have to put away a certain amount of money for them, 30% of income.
I like that.
And there's a bunch of people who are leaving California being like, guys, we just don't like the lifestyle here. Like, we're going to Tennessee, we're going to Texas. Wow. We had mold in the house or whatever these like sort of excuses are.
But it's just so that they can enslave their children and make content.
I don't know the full details.
Dog, that shit is so gross to me.
Like this lady, she was giving them just like $10 to be in a video.
Yeah. She was like, if you help with the video, you get $10.
And she's coming home with fucking 100,000.
She also left. She saved all the raws. So there's all these offcuts of her being like, do it different. And then it being like, she saved all the raws. So there's all this evidence against her.
You know what's funny about this is that there's a lot of people that... like their kids just worked at the bodega or worked at the diner or whatever. And that was just part of their chores. That's what it is. Yeah. And they didn't get their $10. Maybe they might have got a couple bucks, but this is just your contribution to the family. Like this is the family business. Nobody has an issue with it.
No, but here's the difference. Internet comments are the difference. You go to school, nobody's going to be like, hey, look what people are saying about you working at the bodega.
Yeah.
This, or just some kid could go comment on the parents' page and it's like, well, whatever.
I will say this though, like all the mommy bloggers, like keep that shit up though, because they put out some good information, like learning, like if you want to know like how to beat jet lag for your kid, you could just type that shit into TikTok. It's incredible.
I love that. You be the center of the video.
No, I think you're making you're defining it right. Like
that is a talent. what you're describing.
Yeah.
Putting my kid in a video and talking about how cute they are, that's the kid. That's no different than like
Right.
these stage moms that we hate or the kids that force their kids to be actors.
Yeah.
You're the exact same person, but now you're also the director, the executive producer. You're just taking all the money. And the next person won't be as insane as Ruby Franke. She'll be smart enough to delete the raws, et cetera, et cetera.
I think slicing it and that when you're making your kid act for the content, and especially like emotionally manipulating them and abusing them like this, that's fine. But no, I mean, that's not fine. Sorry, that's horrible, and they should all go to jail.
That's illegal, yeah.
That's illegal. They should go to jail. But I see a lot of these like mommy bloggers. They put out amazing stuff. It's like, hey, my kid was doing this, and it actually this piece of this bottle can pop off, and she almost choked. Like, don't use this bottle. And then you go, oh my god, thank you so much for sharing that information. Like, I'm just saying, like as a parent, there's
some
like,
of those are fire.
There's like so much useful information that a lot of parents they're saying like which food has you allergic reactions, but it's not on the ingredient list.
Yeah, there's like soy secretly and some shit.
Yeah, like so I love the fact that information is decentralized, especially with parenting, just as a parent, because I get so much of it. But I agree with you. There's a different version of it where you're like abusing the kid for content. But the one, like you said, like where parents are at the forefront, it's super helpful as a parent. Before we just had to like go off a few parenting books and you hope those were good. You know, like I'd rather go off of like millions of people on the internet saying like what was useful for their kids without exploiting the kid. And I think a lot of them are good at some even like blur their kids' faces out in them. And they'll be like, hey, this tool for sleeping on a plane was really helpful. We inflated this thing.
1000%.
So I don't want to criticize those people because that shit is.
That's her teenage daughter, and I guess now she's a teenager, getting her eyebrows threaded and like, I didn't watch the video, but I know Indian girls. I know what the eyebrows look like. I know you're inviting some comments. You know what I mean? Like, let's have some fucking sense.
You're trying to protect the kids from that online criticism, which is very different when their parents, they're just like offering information and advice.
Yeah, one's entertainment, one's information.
Yeah, education rather. Yeah.
But like that shit is fire. Like how to play with your baby.
Dude, there's all these amazing videos from like doctors. They're not pediatricians, but they're like they have maybe like a PhD in child psychology or something like that. Like how to teach your kid how to sound out letters, or how to teach your kid how to like say words before they can even really speak. Yeah, and I learned all this stuff from them. Like this is amazing. I
remember the first time a girl left me alone with the baby. She's like, "All right, I'll be gone for like an hour and a half. I'll be right back." And I was like, "What do I do?" She's like, "Oh, just play with him." I was like, "What?" Read him a book. Like I was like, do I just like read them? Like I didn't know what to do.
Dude, what girl left you at alone with a baby?
Sister? My wife.
Oh, okay.
You said a girl.
Yeah, you said a girl. That was a little weird.
She was like, yeah, just play with the baby. I was like, I don't know how to. So I like looked at the video. And I was like, oh no, like put some water in a pan, let him splash in it. Yeah, shit like that. I was like, oh, that's smart.
That's great. That's informational, like you said. And even if it's entertainment, that is. Even if it was you getting on camera and complaining about your kids, but your kids aren't in the videos, they're blurred out. That's, I'm not even saying it's a shot at him. That's what Louis C.K. did. It was, but you don't know who the kids are. He protects their identity. That's great. That's entertaining.
But I think that's a good slice.
But what gets the views? And they knew that the son and the oldest daughter got the views whenever they would be on the.
That's some horse shit, dog.
That was crazy.
That's some horse shit.
Yeah.
You exploiting children for views is some horse shit.
I know.
Yeah,
this bitch was crazy.
Yeah.
Give me something fun right now. This is too dark. I need something fun and I need something light. How about Jonathan Majors beating the shit out of this girl? We need something fun and light. Bro, the emotional manipulation that he is capable of.
That's insane.
Son, I need you to read verbatim what happened in the transcript.
Yeah, can you fill me in on this story? I've been away, so I don't know.
So Jonathan Majors' audio, you know, he's been accused of...
I know all the old shit,
So audio leaked of a conversation of him with said woman. He says, I'm ashamed I've ever, Majors begins before cuts himself off. I goes, I'm ashamed I've never been aggressive with a woman before. I've never aggressed a woman. I aggress you. She goes, you strangled me and pushed me against the car. He goes, yes, all of those things are under aggressed. That's never happened to me.
Wow.
Because I said something sarcastically in your eyes, she said. And he said, well, clearly it's more than that. And then she goes, something inside of you. And then he goes, yeah, towards you.
Yo, son. What? Son, he just blamed her for choking the shit out of her. This guy, you need to bury this motherfucker under the jail. Damn. Now, here's the question.
Aggressed?
I need to know the timeline.
What's crazy, there was rumors of maybe Marvel bringing him back in. And fuck.
They waited. They sat on that audio. I think they waited for these rumors.
People were defending his ass.
Yeah.
And I think the chick is white, right?
Yeah.
You know,
mistake number one.
Yeah, snow bunnies.
Mistake number one.
Yo, where's Dr. Umar?
Can't fuck with
Where's
snow
Dr.
bunnies,
Umar
bro.
when you need him?
Dr. Kumar is here. Mistake number one. Mistake number one.
That's because the video came out. She had his phone. It's like, you shouldn't take people's property and shit like that.
And what was the video of him running away from her?
That was that. Yeah.
Suddenly black people are all about castle doctrine, huh? He's on my property now.
I know. And he was running away from her. She was the aggressor.
Yeah.
But isn't, yeah.
But now, oof.
Okay,
Oof.
so this is, I'm not mature enough to have this conversation. I just want to point that out right now.
I think it's better that way.
I am not mature enough to have this conversation. Okay, none of us are mature enough to have this conversation, but we will have it regardless. Now, there was a movie where he was, I think it just recently came out, where he played a bodybuilder. I don't know if it was a historical piece, but it's a movie about weightlifting, specifically bodybuilding.
Okay.
And he gets absolutely like ripped, shredded, jacked for it, which I assume he's taking like tons of, steroids and all these other performance enhancing drugs.
You think that's to blame, or?
I didn't say that at all. 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 What I'm saying is, was he taking all those things around the time of his aggressive behavior? Is it possible that these steroids could have, made him lose control
And aggressed.
It could have made him more
He's
aggressive.
pretty big in Creed. Maybe he started that. Oh,
It is Hollywood's fault. It's Hollywood's fault.
I think I got the PR move for him.
Okay.
Sometimes a man is struggling with his sexuality. And
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't know how to handle the fact that he might be a different sexuality. And so he takes it out on women in a way that's not fair. Because I can't help but notice his pictures with Michael B. Jordan. No aggression. No aggression whatsoever.
Did you
Very
not,
comfortable.
Did you not hear what he came out
very
as?
No.
Oh, this is just perfectly timed. Look this up if you can, Joey. I'm pretty sure he just came out and said that he was molested as a child.
Yeah.
Look that up.
You hold on to that
I miss the old days when it was just like, you hungry? Have a Snickers. Like, when you were angry or hangry, just eat something. Just blame it on I was hungry.
Does he say that he was...
Just blame it on
He was sexually
The old days, that
abused at
shit
age
used to
9.
work.
Say what?
Sexually abused at age 9.
So he came out saying he was sexually abused. I can't help
Man or
but...
woman, that counts.
Both.
Both.
Oh,
Damn. Everybody. Very popular.
Cutie.
Damn.
yo,
We're not mature. Turn the AC off. It's too cold here. We are not mature enough to have this conversation. I just want to let you know. But do you think he tried to beat the...
yo. Even though very popular is the same shit, but that was crazy.
Damn.
I just say you gotta be flattered as an adult. You looking back.
I mean, he was...
I had it like that.
Forget it. You have to feel bad for him.
Look, you
Dub is out of
you
here.
just walked up.
You don't want to do nothing to do with
Where
it.
you going looking for Jonathan Majors?
He's old now.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
Fucking hell.
I mean, this is what Kevin Spacey did.
What's that?
He got accused of abusing a kid, and he was like, "Oh, I'm just gay."
No, the
But
kid
he
was...
really is gay.
The kid was... But, okay, listen. The kid was 17 and also gay. So that doesn't count.
That's crazier than what I say. Because he's like, that's not a joke.
I don't
You see
think...
what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, right?
I know.
I'm not the only crazy one.
Let me make the argument. Let me make the
We are
argument.
mature enough to have
Gay, we're not mature enough to have this conversation, but like gay on gay is the exact same thing as like male 17-year-old and like 30-year-old teacher, female. As long as they're both gay. If it's a straight dude that's being, taken advantage of by a gay guy, that's fucked up. But if it's a gay guy just getting to fuck a
But it
30-year-old
was unwanted
movie
sexual
star,
advances.
we don't know about that.
Okay.
We don't know about that.
Also, I agree. I'm Team Kevin Spacey because I'm pretty sure all the accusers did end up dying.
Yeah, so we're not going to sit here and accuse him of anything.
No, I'm nothing. I'm team Spacey.
Yeah, it's fucking
bro.
demons in his asshole, that's for sure.
Yeah, I love House of Cards.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'm a fan.
basically at 9, Jonathan Majors was the town tricycle, and, and listen.
You can't say that.
We're not mature enough to have this conversation. That's horrible. There's a lot of people that deal with this. Absolutely, this is horrible, and those people should go to jail. But that doesn't make it okay for him to choke the shit out of a woman.
Yeah, that's why we're making these jokes, because he did something heinous.
The only reason we're making these jokes is because it seems like he tried to undercut the abuse towards this innocent woman with his own molestation.
Okay.
And that's not allowed. And when you do that, we get to make fun of you for that.
True.
That's
hurt
Simple
people.
as that.
Hurt people.
Hurt people, hurt people. He was obviously hurt. Those people that hurt him should be fucking at least questioned. We got to see what the fuck was happening in this town. We got to understand what's going on. But he should go to prison for choking the shit out of a white woman.
If you
You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Where's Megan Good in all this? She was like his crisis PR. She came in.
She's so hot.
And she was walking around with him. She's this beautiful, stunning, talented woman.
how long
Why
she's
is she
been
with
that
this dirtbag?
But who is this person making good?
Oh my God, one of the most.
you out of your fucking
I hate
mind,
you
dude?
sometimes.
Are you out of your fucking
I feel like I want to
mind, dude?
aggress you. I feel like I want to aggress you right now.
Look at, that's her in like her, I don't know, what, mid-40s probably?
You could
she's-
pull her up from any age.
I mean, she's just absolutely
it's
beautiful.
retarded.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you married, son.
Relax, bro. Relax,
yeah,
Yo,
my bad.
Jocelyn, we need a TikTok about that. We need a TikTok immediately about the way your man talking about Megan Good.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Was she an
Do
actress?
it again on there.
What is she an actress? This motherfucker.
I'm being dead
Mark,
serious.
I'm gonna slap you, son.
Why am I supposed to know this?
You
I'm
just
genuinely
supposed
curious.
to. You just.
I mean, it is.
She's a beautiful woman, but I don't
Yeah.
think she
Okay,
is.
can
Think
we-
like a man, stomp the yard. Friday, she's in Friday. She's young.
Damn, bro, damn. She's
She
like,
wasn't- I said she was young. Yeah, she was cute on Friday.
You're not true to be an Indian, bro. You
Why? She
want a
was cute at
sister
14.
so bad it's unbelievable.
Well, I can't help it
You
if I've
want
seen
that.
Friday enough to. Oh,
You
yeah,
want that.
Yeah, that's true. No, that's true.
That's
But
what I'm
now-
talking
He was
about.
But now-
grooming in his brain. He just didn't know it.
No, I didn't realize till well later. Somebody told me.
What do you
But
mean? What do you mean you didn't realize?
somebody told me years later, we were seeing her in Stomp the Yard with him. He's like, dude, she was in something when she was a kid. I forget which movie. And then I looked it up.
I saw Friday.
Oh, nice.
I saw that. That was one that I did see.
Good.
I don't remember her in that film though.
Good.
He only saw the hot boys.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, that's really fucked up what he had to endure as a child. Jonathan
Really
Majors.
is.
If it's even true, we don't know if it's true. He might just be saying it to like subvert this woman's narrative about him beating the shit out of her.
Yeah.
How awful would that be if he lied about that just to gain sympathy for us when we want to hate a woman beater?
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
Oof. I mean, the things people will do.
Wouldn't be good.
I don't think it's a lie. Because if you're gonna lie, just say I was molested by a woman. You're gonna add the molested by a dude.
But now you
shit.
gotta
It's like-
forgive him. But then you gotta forgive him.
Yeah.
Also,
Molested by a man, we were more
How old is he?
sensitive to than molested by a woman.
can we look up how
So
old
then
he
maybe
is,
it is
Joey?
lying. He's like, I gotta kind of offset the gay a little
Yeah.
bit. You be like, yo,
Bitches wanted it too. though. Bitches wanted it too.
The likelihood you get molested by 2 different adults, come on.
Can I tell you
That's why I said what I said. That's what you see why I said what I said.
No.
You see why I said what I said.
It was different.
You see it. You get it.
No.
He's looking at stats.
Yeah, I'm looking at
Okay,
stats.
all right, let's have a real conversation. He's 35. This happened when he was 9. You had 26 years to go to therapy, work through your issues. Yeah, it's fucked up that happened to you. It's very traumatic. 26 years, you could have worked through it. You didn't. I'm not going to forgive what you did because this potentially happened to you.
You've been in therapy for 20 years. You still angry as fuck. How do you think he's going to get over molestation
I
at
choked my
9?
wife and she got more attitude than this bitch, I promise.
Wait, you said you choked your
I said,
wife?
I ain't choking my
Oh,
wife
you
and
ain't
she got
choking.
more
Okay,
attitude.
I was like-
And she got more attitude than this girl,
That's
I
because she will
promise.
fuck you up.
You're not playing, bro.
That might be an even fight.
Yeah,
That's an
I
even
want to see
fight.
y'all throw down. Now you're
Yeah.
fired.
Ding, ding, ding.
That's an even fight. You got the same weight class.
There's no way. Not me now.
Yeah.
Damn, bro. All right, well, listen, we got through most of the trauma section of today's episode.
Yeah.
I feel like,
Free Jonathan Majors, though.
whoa.
I mean,
he abused a woman, Al.
Yeah, that's not good.
he was molested. Cancel stuff.
No, that's not how that
Nah.
works.
That's what the Marvel movies try to do, right? Remember when Magneto was a bad guy and then we had to feel bad that he was in the Holocaust or whatever? Remember, like, everybody, they just used the Holocaust to humanize Magneto. Like, nobody asked about Magneto, right? Of course. I'm not even gonna say it.
Okay, go ahead. I was thinking it. You were about to say it.
Yeah, of course the Jewish character in Marvel can control the coins. I couldn't believe they shoehorned that story into it. Like, none of us needed to know about his backstory and feel bad for him. He's trying to kill all the human beings in the world, and we're supposed to be like, oh, but he was in the Holocaust. It was, we can't do that. Why did we let that happen?
But that made him a better villain.
Yeah. I agree. We should use that.
Of course he was the villain.
But they made the movie.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's true. They did invent that.
Yeah, the Holocaust?
No. We're not going to do it.
What kind of podcast is this?
We're not going to do
the
it.
rails, dude.
We're not going to do it. We're not going to.
I don't know. You guys need to simmer down.
Yeah,
guys.
we need to
You're out of your mind this
we need to
episode.
simmer down.
Oh, can we talk about some sports?
Let's do it, man.
Buddy, did you see the George the Messiah, Brian Scalabrine drama, this whole thing?
I'm conflicted on this.
Okay, so I'll just walk you to anybody who doesn't know. George the Messiah is a New York streetball legend. He plays at a court on West 4th Street and 6th Ave called The Cage. Typical, everything you think a New York baller is, like the old man at the gym, he's that to a million.
Yeah.
Talks cash shit, fouls you like crazy. If you try to call a foul, he calls you soft. He's not standing for it, and he'll beat you. He's got like this like nice like a hook shot floater that goes in. And there's all kinds of videos of him beating people one-on-one. Then they asked him in an interview, you think you could take an NBA hooper? He said, yeah, bring him to West 4th University. It's different over here. He goes, I think I could beat Brian Scalabrine. And they're like, that guy's 6'9". He's like, nope.
White Mamba, the White Mamba.
Yeah, the White Mamba, I could beat him. And then Scalabrine is like, you know what? Sounds good. I'll be in New York this Saturday. Let's do it. So they have a game. Everybody's hype. And Brian Scalabrine, it's just one of the more satisfying videos to watch, to be honest with you, because we've all played that old guy at the rec. I just fouls you and talks shit and is annoying. And Brian Scalabrine just bullies this guy. Why are you conflicted? I mean, he just bullies him.
So I'm conflicted because obviously I want to, side with the New York City streetball legend and shit talker.
Okay.
But there's also a part of me that just loves the fact that Scalabrine shows up anytime someone calls him out.
Yes.
He's like Beetlejuice.
He has the greatest quote. He says, I'm closer to LeBron James than you are to me.
And it's just like nobody will believe him, but he keeps on busting people's ass every single time.
There was a story in Boston where they were shitting on him that he's the lowest ranked player on NBA 2K or whatever. He called like a radio station. He's like, yo, anybody who thinks they can beat me that's not in the league, come to this rec center in Boston. And then he beats the shit out of all
every
of them.
single one.
That was fire.
He just
I like
dominates.
that energy.
That's fine.
Yeah. No, so I fuck with him for that. And there is a moment here where George is fouling the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And he does some, old school move. Like he's got him in a post and he makes a move and he kind of tucks his elbow up and under and hits George in the chin with the elbow to create some space.
Yeah.
But he didn't back away from it. He was just like, listen, you wanted to play around with fire, you're going to get burned. And he started talking crazy shit.
Yeah.
George didn't really know what to do.
Yeah, so at one point, he says, he gets on the mic from the guy who's commentating. He's like, yo, he was fouling me the whole time, so I started fouling back. And then one guy goes, you're fouling him worse, though. And Brian just goes, oh, get off his nuts.
So you gotta realize, Scalabrine, it's not like he was raised in Nova Scotia. He's been hooping with the baddest motherfuckers on the planet his whole life.
Yeah.
He knows how to talk shit. He's also a big dude.
Yeah.
He's skilled as fuck.
He could shoot. His whole thing in the league was just hitting open threes. So he can still stroke it. Oh, he says something at one point. One guy goes, hey, yo, he don't even clock it. He doesn't even care. He says something like, yo, you can go hard or you go hard or something. The guy goes, hey, yo.
That's a
But
white
it's the
mama,
most
bro.
New York shit ever.
But I think he blinks him. I think he
11-0. He beats
up.
his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he just bullies this kid, dominates. I think Joey pulled up some of the highlights. And then he takes off the hoodie at some point.
Straight at him.
Love that.
Yeah, he getting fouled.
Scalabrine's 46.
Yeah.
We like to believe like the last person on the bench of the NBA isn't a super alpha.
Yeah.
You have to be so alpha to even get into the league.
He was the best guy at his high school,
the best guy his entire life.
and the best guy at his college, and then made the league.
And he wasn't bad with the Spurs. He did his job. Like, if you get him open, he'll hit the three.
Yeah.
And that's not that easy to do. There's some high pressure moments. It was a championship team. They got to get a ring.
Yeah.
So like he hit big shots.
When you're at home and you're looking at that, it's like, oh, I can do that. I can just stand at the corner and wait for the ball. Like
He pulls the fuck up.
And Scalabrine kind of leaned into it in a way, like just by being like fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he would like do silly antics. He called himself the White Mamba, so I think he kind of likes in a way like people underestimate him.
People called him the White Mamba, I think, but he didn't mind it.
Yeah,
He wasn't like, but you can't. You know
I love it. But shout out George, man. I always see George over by West 4th. Shout out fucking George,
I've
legend.
never seen him.
Yeah. Did you bet on the George Messiah Scalabrine again?
No, but if
What do we got for March Madness? You guys care at all?
You should care.
I don't give a fuck.
St. John's.
I know St. John's won the Big East. Like to me, all that proves is that if you get the big coach, you get the big money, and then you can get the good players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, who's the coach of
To
St.
me,
John's?
all that proves is everything everybody's been saying for the last 30 years.
What do you mean for 30 years?
Everybody knows this. You get the best coach in college basketball, you have a chance.
Wait, why do you have a chance?
Coach K built up Duke from nothing. It wasn't like a stellar program before he got there.
Right, but did you listen to what I said?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you get the best coach, you get the most money, you get the best players.
But why do you think you get the best players?
Because you have the best coach.
No, because you pay the players.
Because the money goes in when you get the coach.
Yeah, but Coach K wasn't paying the players.
Yeah.
The example. Do you remember the example you just used?
Okay,
When
fair.
you make an argument, do you think at all? Like,
fine.
what happens in your head when you when you say no?
John Calipari.
Yeah,
Kentucky.
good
Yes.
job.
There you
Yes,
go.
yes,
There you go.
yes.
There
You're
you
making
go.
my point.
Exactly.
So
The
you
point
agree?
that- yeah.
Okay, good.
That's what I was saying.
No, you didn't say it at all. You said the exact opposite thing.
No, but
With
this is not new
supreme
information.
confidence.
This is not new information.
You're George the Messiah.
Okay, fair enough. This is not new information. This is not new
And I'm
information.
Scalabrine right now.
This is not new information.
Hop off his nuts. Just hop off his nuts, Akash. Okay.
Who's St. John's coach?
It's not Pacino, but it is.
It's Patino, right?
It's Patino. Yeah. So Rick Pitino, who's like a legendary, college coach. I think he even tried to coach in the league once.
Yeah, Celtics.
Celtics
was not
was
good.
It wasn't good, but he's killed it with college. And so he's there. But in my whole life, I was like, oh, I guess these guys, and I don't want to take anything away from like Coach K, but like my whole life growing up, I was like, oh, I guess these guys just have this intangible skill. They understand 2-3 defense better than these other guys. And it's like Rick's got the connection. I don't want to shit on him, but he's probably got the connection to Nike, and all the players want a connection to Nike. So the guys that are getting scooped up early when they're in fucking middle school, Nike's, put them in the pocket. You can't pay them. Now you can pay them in the NIL. But before, their team is being sponsored, and you have connection to these people, and then you funnel them into this league, and they all go, or into this team. And they're also going at that time like, well, man, if I'm on this coach's team, I'll probably get more airtime, and that's going to give me a better chance of getting into the league, etc. So within 2 years, they win the Big East, and St. John's hadn't won a fucking game in the tournament since we were in high school. I feel like who played for St. John's when we were in high school? Was it Artest? Didn't play at St. John's, did he?
Carmelo.
No.
Syracuse.
Oh yeah, I'm bugging.
Was it Artest? There was a team back in the day that was like good for a second. Oh no, Barkley. There was a kid named something Barkley.
I don't know that kid. I remember St. Joe's had a little run, but St. John's, I remember being like, aren't y'all supposed to be good?
So back in the day, yeah, this is Mark Jackson, Chris Mullen, Jason Williams, the one that killed somebody. And then there was a Barkley that played there at one time. And then Meta, Sandiford Artest, 100%.
Wow.
Anyway, point being is and then I was looking at this in terms of a program. So if you're a university, you go, okay, how much does Patino want a year? He wants $5 million a year. Okay, how much do we make as a university if we make the NCAA tournament? We're selling out every single game during the year, and then we're getting a tournament. I'm sure you get a piece of that tournament budget. You go, well, fuck it. I'd rather pay the coach than pay these players. Like
You make Final Four?
Yeah.
Out of here.
Crazy money. And this is within 2 seasons, right? I think Patino took over 2 years ago.
Yeah.
About?
Something like that.
I don't know, like it's a pretty fast turnaround.
Yeah.
So I'm looking like every small university, I'm going, hey, where's the biggest donor? And going, how do we get Calipari? How do we get what NBA coach is about to just, get fired because they're not good enough? Bring his ass in here. Let's make it happen.
How much do you even need the coach? Like, could Elon just be the coach of a college basketball team and get the money figured out and then just get the best
Like,
players?
here's the thing about the coach, and I don't want to shoot like I'm shitting on coaches, but like, and maybe it's different at the college level, but like the last few
He's about to
coaches,
shit on coaches. Just
the last few coaches that won the NBA championship were all first year coaches.
Yeah, that guy with Toronto. Who won last year? The guy.
Maybe they brought
the guy with the
something
Lakers.
new.
It was his first year.
It's Kerr, I think his first year.
Kerr won it.
He
in
won.
his first year. Absolutely, he won in his first year.
So it's like
Maybe they brought something new, innovative to the game.
like
No, just the fact that they were new. Like you're saying, like
Kerr, I
it
think,
doesn't
knew
take
how to
skill
maximize
set,
his
and
players.
I'm saying no. Maybe the fact that they brought a new, different way to play is the reason why they won.
Yeah,
Maybe you're right.
I think
Maybe
with
you're right.
Kerr more so, but like the Lakers guy, the first year they win in the COVID, it's like what you got LeBron.
Yeah.
He's your coach.
I think that's what happens. Like, and maybe in college is a little different, but then you could also argue like the delta between like an average good college player and an NBA level college player is way bigger than like a really good NBA player and then an average NBA player.
Yeah.
You know, so like if you have a superstar in college, you're fucking
Yeah, you might be set.
exactly Melo.
Yeah.
Like dominant. Syracuse, it was like he was unstoppable. The guy's like fucking 6'9", he could dribble, he could pull up from three. It was it's like he's playing with high school kids.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what do we think for this year? Who do we think takes it? Like I don't even know.
I don't know anything about college basketball, but I'm gonna ride with St. John's. That'd be such a fun. Like
For the city, it would be great because
Yeah.
we pretend like we support St. John's
Yeah.
when they're good.
Yeah.
Like the whole city gets involved. You see the St. John's jerseys pop
Yeah,
out. Like,
right.
we don't even know what borough that shit is in.
You need that energy back.
Yeah.
I'll take the other New York team. I'll take the Liberty.
Yeah, respect. Respect.
All right, so you got Liberty. You got St. John's, you said?
I'm pulling
Okay.
for Florida, dude. Come on. They're ranked number 1 apparently, which I didn't even know that.
Really?
Yeah, UF.
That's good.
Or I'm going for Drake. Got to support Drake. Drake is my guy. Drake can do no wrong.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I think I'm going, I can't go Duke.
Don't go Duke.
I'll go Duke for you, so you can go St. John's.
Okay, fine. All right, I'll go St. John's. You go Duke. I mean, is Cooper injured? If he's injured, I
Yeah,
think
he
it
hurt his
changes.
ankle. I think it's uncertain if he's going to be. But if they can make it through the first weekend, he might be okay.
Now, here's the question: how often do you play in the tournament?
2 games each weekend, I think.
Oh,
2
so
rounds. So like the whatever at the first round and then the second round, then Sweet 16 is a week later. Elite 8 is Monday, then a full week, then it's Final 4.
So in the beginning, you're playing more often, though.
No, it's just 2 games each weekend. 2 rounds each weekend.
How many times does one team play a week?
Twice if they keep winning.
That's a lot if you're coming off injury.
Yeah, I think he has to sit out the first weekend. I think if they can make it through, because if they're a 1 seed, they're playing the lowest seed in the first round. You should be able to win without Cooper's
Right.
leg. Second round, hopefully. And if you can get through that, then you might be okay for the Elite or Sweet 16, and that's
Yeah.
where it's like, we need you.
It's crazy how unpredictable this shit is. Like
Yeah.
with the NBA, we know who's going to win at the beginning of the season, most likely, unless there's like a big injury or something like that. This tournament shit, it's like,
No lead is safe in college because they're not as good. They can't close it out. So it's 16-point lead in college doesn't mean anything. I mean, I guess it doesn't as much now in the pros because there's so many threes, but like no lead is safe ever.
Yeah, it's so sick.
You almost
Yeah.
know a comeback is happening.
I wonder if that's part of it. Like in the pros, they weren't shooting as many threes. There weren't as many players that could hit pro threes.
Oh, yeah.
So the leads were a little bit safer.
Yeah.
Whereas the college three has always been super close. So the guys who can't really shoot at NBA range could shoot pretty efficiently in college. And then you could evaporate a lead pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So I wonder if, obviously part of it is like the skill set. Like there's like singular, unbelievable talent.
Yeah.
But there's just more guys going to hit a college three.
Yeah.
So you could evaporate that league.
Yeah, that makes sense. I always attribute it to a college kid not being as able to withstand the momentum shift.
So like they're emotionally
Yeah,
caught
they're
up
a
in the
little younger.
game.
They're not as used to it. It's like
Also, you got to see every one of them fans. Like,
Yeah, dude.
when you're at home, they're in your physics class. Like if you miss that free throw, you got to look at that guy and you got to explain to you how gravity works.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's see what happens. Listen, if you're betting, you know you're doing it with Stake, okay? Stake's the leader in global betting and U.S. social casinos. Bet on top sports and political events and use the promo code FLAGRANT for your welcome bonus. Now let's get back to the show. Miles, you met an OnlyFans girl?
What
No,
male
me.
OnlyFans guy?
No. I saw an OnlyFans girl on Instagram on my Instagram, and I brought it up to Mark that I think this is this is crazy. I actually don't even want to say the allegation I have.
Can we just pull her up?
Yeah,
Can we
just pull her up.
This is
Where are we going with this?
This is an interesting woman that's
You know,
popular.
stop
on OnlyFans.
talking about me on the pod. It's never been good.
Okay, now it's good.
Never been positive.
Now it's good.
No, this is positive.
There has yet to be a positive story.
Okay.
Pretty girl.
Oh, she a little Riri.
Oh, I know this one. Is this the one I'm...
No, that's the other one.
No,
that
it's
other
a
one got
different
a dumper on her.
So there
It's a
is a
different
girl. I don't know if she's on OnlyFans, but she's definitely all over my TikTok and Instagram and everything.
plays
Search. Pause. That is the girl.
No, the other one got a bigger dump.
No.
Okay, well, I think what we're all talking about is
They got a similar
there
face.
is a girl who is putting on a Down syndrome filter. That's her.
I think this is the girl that's using a filter because she's sort of too upfront about it. I think one of the caption that caught me off guard was like, "I'm Downs and also down" or something crazy.
I saw that one.
And then I went on the Instagram
For
account.
research purposes.
Now, this is a tricky one because they are above age in physically, but mentally, they stop maturing probably around, I don't know, 12, 13 or something like that, right? So,
Oh, fuck. Don't say
despite
that.
yeah. So, what is the rule with that? I think it's intellectual maturity.
Yeah, you got to go, nah.
Yeah, I don't think you can have sex with a Down syndrome person.
No sex, but you can admire them.
No, wait a minute.
The body's
Hold
still
on,
of age.
Hold on, wait a minute. He's onto something. Admiring them would not involve any intellectual manipulation at all, and their body is of age.
And there's no intellectual connection between you two. You're not exploring her thoughts. You're not
that's it.
talking to her.
I never listen to them when they speak.
You're talking about women in general?
Yeah.
So this is really interesting. It is not wrong if they had one before, and we know it's not wrong because Victoria's Secret, I think, had one of them at the show, right?
Yep.
Didn't they have a Down syndrome model modeling? So clearly, it's okay that we observe them and admire them, right?
Now,
Good. I'm safe.
You're safe. You're safe. Now, having sex with them, you would be having sex with a 12-year-old trapped in a 24-year-old fucking supermodel's body.
Yeah, which is gross.
Which is wrong.
So it would be like the same for her with me.
You would have to argue that you had the maturity of a 12-year-old in court.
Just close the pod. It's gonna be great.
That's not good.
I have tennis balls on my fingernails. Hey, look at my fingernails. I have tennis balls all over my fingernails. I love this.
It's pretty retarded. He already said this.
Yeah.
now, I think she's faking.
Yeah, that brings up a whole other ethical ripple.
Well, the Victoria's Secret model is not faking.
Of course.
But this girl that you were bringing up,
Yes.
it appears is pretending to have Down syndrome. So,
There's multiple of these bitches.
yeah, that we would look at them on the internet, which is working
Yeah.
according to the algorithm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think she's using AI face swap or like a something.
That's devious, dude. That's devil's
That's what
work.
I'm trying to say. It's crazy, right? That like
Yeah.
that's her angle into
Yeah, but
this.
who developed the AI face swap to make you look down? Like, is she also coding?
No, I'm sure it's an app. I'm sure it's just an app.
So you
can
think
download.
there's an app out there?
For sure.
What's it called?
I'm gonna find out.
Oh, see, look. There's another one.
What?
There's another.
Look at him
Down.
acting like he just found.
I definitely went. I definitely went in my D.
What are the chances?
I was trying to figure out if it's the same girl, but they look the same.
I found something, guys.
But they look the same.
Like scoops.
Wait, but does she say that she's... Hold on, pause the audio.
Yeah, we're gonna get.
Does she say that she's neurodivergent?
I mean, look at the face.
Just turn your volume down.
Read the bio.
Al,
Read the
turn your
bio.
volume
Do
down.
something you've never done with a woman in your life.
I'm not real. Oh, fuck. I'm not real. I'm an AI character and do not have Down syndrome.
Son, you've been checking out AI retards?
So she got a dumper.
No, I think that's artificial unintelligence. All right, guys, let's take a break for a second. Obviously, every single one of you out here knows about Magic Spoon and their delicious cereal and treats that have been reinvented from your childhood. That's right, they're tapping into nostalgia. Keep your wife happy, keep your kids happy, make them proud. That's what Magic Spoon can do, can make them proud. But you know what else they're going to do? Granola. That's right. Magic Spoon is launching a brand new high-protein granola, true to the Magic Spoon promise. It's packed with protein, so crunchy, and pride, okay? I'm telling you right now, the treats that they got, Magic Spoon's high-protein treats are crispy, crunchy, airy, and an easy way to get 12 grams of protein on the go. They come in mouth-watering flavors like marshmallow, chocolate peanut butter, and dark chocolate. Magic Spoon's brand new granola packs 13 grams of protein and 0 added sugars. They come in delicious flavors like dark chocolate almond, honey almond, and peanut butter. Telling you right now, it is delicious. You are a busy person. You don't have time to sit down and have every single meal. Not everybody has time to sit down and have a delicious bowl of cereal. You might be on the go. You might be doing things. You might be making money, okay? You might be cheating on a spouse. The point is, you can get $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com/flagrant, or look for Magic Spoon on Amazon or in your nearest grocery store. That's magicspoon.com/flagrant for $5 off. You are welcome. Now let's get back to the show.
What's up, noodle dicks? You see the blue light. You know what time it is. It's blue chew time. It is hard dick time. It's what do you call them shits that you're taking, Mark? Performance enhancing drugs? PED time.
Yes.
But for your dick. Guys, Mark is over here getting in great shape, and that's all well and good, but why don't you use PEDs for the one organ that really matters, and that is your dick. The one piece of your body that really matters. If you got a girl that you want to impress, best way to do it is probably with Blue Chew. And if you want to do that hard dick thing, all you got to do is go to bluechew.com and use your promo code FLAGRANT, and then you get your first shipment for free. You just have to pay $5 for shipping. That's it. So, BlueChew.com, promo code FLAGRANT. Also visit Blue Chew, look at all the details and all the important safety information, and then give the special lady in your life the best dick she's ever gotten, or at least the best dick you're capable of giving her for maybe a much lower ceiling there. But either way, do it. Now let's get back to the show. There's just a clip that I think was very fitting given what's been happening on Flagrant and the newest romance that's blossoming amongst the Flagrant staff.
right.
So why don't we just watch this clip, let it play out. We don't need any context. You don't need any sound.
can't.
Just watch the characters are brothers, but just watch. And this has been viral because White Lotus has been kind of building with this weird subplot.
tension,
We can just press play whenever you want. We'll talk, who cares? So this is one brother and another brother. They smooch on the lips, and that's initially, and then the second one is similar to what has happened on the Flagrant set, I believe, between Miles and David.
He liked
Kiss
that.
on the set.
He liked that.
So I just think, it's like Kismet, you know what I mean? God shows this episode right after we find out about Miles and David, and you're still trying to wrap your mind around the characters because you are not caught up on the show. You didn't see it building toward this?
No, I saw it. I saw
you
when
see
he
the
went to go
episode?
jerk off and he was looking at his butt
And
or
then
whatever.
he made out with him a third time, hard. That kid is David. Miles is the one that's a
Yeah.
little disturbed by it, but
But he's still okay. He didn't move away. Like,
Do we know, like, I haven't gotten to this episode yet, but do we know if they're like actually brothers or
Yeah.
they're
they're
blood brothers?
seemingly blood brothers.
Yeah.
They're trying to hook up with these girls. The girls start kissing, and I think they kiss. Each of them kisses the younger guy, and then they're like, "Now you two need to kiss if we want this to continue."
It's like classic party thing. He's like, you guys should kiss. You guys should kiss.
It is like, it's like one of those classic party situations, right, Miles? It happens all the time.
Just keep podcasting.
Whatever we accuse him of, he is. I just want to let you know. And he's going to incriminate himself. We don't need to say a single thing.
Yeah.
Every time he opens his mouth organically and authentically, he will prove he is racist and now gay.
Just keep podcasting. I'm not here.
That's what David's dick looks like. Okay.
Yeah, dude.
it was. I thought they were building up that the younger brother was gonna hook up with the sister.
the sister. He seems like he's into whatever.
Yeah.
The little brother's a creep. He's like kind of innocent, but also demented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so now everybody's back in on the show. So first of all, I just want to say something, which I admire a TV show. This is their third season, right? So you could grab your balls and go on the third season. By that, I mean, you could take as long as you want to build up the storylines. And then when you finally execute, huge cannonball splash.
Yeah.
The first few episodes came out and people were writing this shit off. They're like, oh, they lost it. The first two seasons were
I
good.
still feel that way.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So
even after this episode, I still.
this episode was weird as fuck.
Yeah.
It
Okay,
was
fair
my
enough.
least favorite. I didn't feel that way.
Okay, let me just get out what people were
yeah.
saying. And I spoke to one of the producers of the show, and he was like, yeah, it's annoying that there's like a lot of criticism about it, but like we're building up towards this thing. And I was like, I think that takes courage. Like now with the internet culture, you just want to give everybody something in the first 3 seconds so they don't scroll away.
Yeah.
So I think it's brave to actually slow play something.
Yeah.
And then deliver big 5 episodes in or 6 episodes in. And the reality is with the, binge culture, people can just, if they turned it off after 2 episodes and they find out something crazy happened on 6, one weekend, they'll just plow through the rest of them. So you can really let these characters marinate.
Can't we give a show time? Right? Like they had 2 great seasons. They deliver every time. The show opens with a murder, a mass shooting at a resort.
Yeah.
And everyone on episode 2 is like, oh, this sucks.
I agree with you.
We're going somewhere.
I
It's
agree.
awesome.
Now, I wouldn't recommend doing
dudes
this.
kissing dudes.
Season 1, I wouldn't recommend doing it.
Fair.
Season 2, that's ballsy. But season 3, you've earned it. You put out 2 great pieces of content, and you should know as the consumer, all these characters are a little fucked up. You might not know why yet, but pay attention and lock in. And I think they do a really good job on this show specifically of like creating mystery. You don't know why each person is doing whatever they're doing, but you are curious to see where this is going.
Yes.
And so as much as people bitch or complain on TikTok, you're going to keep fucking watching. And then when they come through with a hammer, hopefully that's happening in these next few episodes. I haven't seen, but it seems like the reaction to it was this. And then also there's a monologue.
Oh, yeah.
By,
it goes crazy.
Oh, Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell. And I love the fact that they didn't even mention he's in the show. Usually you have an actor of that size on a show like this. There's not a lot of big actors in the show. Like you can't, like who's a big actor in the show outside of the dude that played Slytherin?
I mean,
dude, the K-pop girl.
I thought all
the
of them
K-pop girls.
She's not a big actress.
Yeah.
But she's just dumb famous.
She's super famous and she's so beautiful.
Walton Goggins is pretty big, right?
Yeah, I think he's pretty big. He's not huge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Walton Goggins, I think, has just recently, with the success of Fallout, maybe become this like beloved character or character actor. But like, there's not like huge superstars in the show.
Like
also
like the fat white bitch from the previous seasons. Like she
was like a pretty famous person, and she got famous from being on the show.
And I miss her, man.
Coolidge.
She made the fucking
Yeah,
show.
Jennifer Coolidge.
Sorry that I.
Anyway, my point is like
You're really funny.
when you have an actor of Sam Rockwell's his name, his size on a show where there's not a lot of huge marquee actors, usually you would put in the promo. You'd be like, oh, by the way, this guy's coming, so you guys should watch. The fact that they don't even mention it, he's not even in the credits or anything like that. I think that shows balls. It shows confidence.
The monologue is insane. Do you watch it?
No, I haven't seen it. I'm not up to this episode yet. Why?
Mindfuck.
Yeah.
Why is it so good?
No, it's not so good. It's just disturbing. It's crazy.
Really?
He basically just shows like the end game, like reductionism of like sex addiction. So it's like I was addicted to party and sex, and then I got addicted to. I wanted to be the guy. I wanted to be the girls that were getting fucked. So I brought these guys over to fuck me, and then I wanted the girls to see me getting fucked, so I could look her in the eye, so she could see me getting fucked by me. And then the whole time, Goggins' character is like, huh? Like he's just being us. It's awesome.
Us at home.
It's
He was
amazing.
like-
It's so well done, and like it's perfect.
I mean, Rockwell's such a good actor.
No, he's a beast.
Unbelievable.
He's awesome.
There's he's a beast. I will say in this show, in the first few episodes that I've consumed, the relationship between the 3 girls, watching my wife watch those 3 girls is unbelievable. Because
I need to know this.
she's watching and she's like, this is how we are. This is how we are. We kind of like, we're all friends, we hang out, then we all like gossip and talk a little shit behind each other's back. Like this is like, she goes, this is an obviously exaggerated
Hyperbolic
version of a relationship of, a few like close friends, maybe around that age. But she's like, it's not like foreign. Like it is what a joke should do or what a TV show should do is like take something that is true or real and then just ratchet up a little bit, but not so much that you couldn't believe it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And you see those combos and like, I think that those 3, as annoying as they are, and that feeling that you get where you're like, oh, I feel uncomfortable watching it. To me, I'm like, that is written to perfection.
Bruh, I agree with you. So my shorty, she's from Spain. She every time when she hangs out with some like American women, she's like, that is that. She's like, oh.
That's what the guy, what's his name? Mike White, I believe his name is the guy who creates the show. I think like
He's great.
His superpower is like understanding relationships between people and like exaggerating or like turning up the heat on our most fucked up qualities. Because everything is kind of these relationships between like the hot young girl and like the older dude that like pays for everything like that.
Yep.
Like it's toxic, but it's not abnormal from relationships you've seen. Like this shit is. He's good. And I think that's why you relate to it so much. Like there's a little part of you that kind of like either sees somebody or even yourself in these characters.
The waspy, douchey older brother like that. He nails that. He nails that.
Son, the mom. The pill popping.
yeah,
So
yeah.
perfect.
My lorazepam.
Oh shit! First
I
of all,
haven't been around one of those.
that's
Pill mom?
That's some like
Oh,
that's
dude.
that's some suburban white shit.
Yeah,
like in the
yeah.
city, we didn't experience a lot of that. Sometimes on the Upper East Side, you get a little bit of it, but like a lot of those moms were like high performing, like working moms and shit like that. The mom at home who marries the rich guy, but like really cares about her place in like local society. I mean, like how she relates to these people.
The HOA.
Say that again.
The HOA.
The HOA,
mom.
like the homeowners association, like, and also the judgment that she has. Like, we're not trashy, we're classy. Like, I mean, she is. What is that woman's name? The
Parker
place.
Posey.
That woman.
She's a good dude. Gone Girl. That's Gone Girl. I'm pretty sure.
Wait a minute, is Parker Posey Gone Girl? No. That's
Oh, Rosamund.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
You're she was in, is it 6 Feet Under or something like that? I don't know. She's been in some shit, obviously, but she deserves to win some shit. Every time she talks, if I'm on that set and I'm one of the other actors, I'm laughing every time she talks.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand how you keep a straight
You're gonna
face.
stay here in Taiwan?
Yeah.
You can't be in Taiwan. You can't.
Yeah.
Die.
That's the last episode. Yeah.
Yeah, she's unbelievable. I
mean-
I've heard some theories.
Go.
That because this guy's stealing all her lorazepam, right?
Yes.
And he's the only one that knows where it is. She showed him, hey, I'm putting my purse underneath this thing with the drugs.
That's my episode that I just watched. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden all the drugs go missing. And she's like, where are my drugs? And she knows that he's the only one that knows where it is. So is it possible that she knows that he's drugging himself and that is somehow aware of the empire falling down?
Yes, or she just doesn't want to acknowledge or admit that her husband, who is this like pillar of society, whose father or grandfather was a governor of North Carolina, wherever the fuck they're from.
Ostensibly a good dude. Like most of the time you see these guys in movies, they're cheating on their girls, they're XYZ. And then he says early in the episode, early in the season, the guy that's going to jail, he's like, I was doing you a fucking favor. This didn't even help me. I was just trying to help you out. And you said nothing could happen. So like, he's not some piece of shit, ostensibly, again, some piece of shit scumbag fucking everybody over to get his wealth. He tried to help a guy out, and now it's coming back to bite him in the ass. And it seems like a fairly connected father. His kids love him. And you see that guy falling.
Yeah.
Even, I don't know how far, again, I don't know what happens in the next couple episodes, because I think I just watched 3, or maybe I watched a little bit 4.
You're only one episode behind.
Okay, so the daughter is a fucking bitch. Like
After this episode,
oh no, I haven't even seen this episode. But the fact that she makes the whole family take a 35-hour flight to go to this thing so that she can, like, what was it? She wanted to interview a
Yeah, she
monk?
wanted to go live in a monastery.
No. She told them
to interview
For the
a monk.
thesis,
She's
yeah.
for my thesis, and in reality, it's just so she could see if the monastery's good and then live there. It's like she's trying to act like she's this like holier than thou. Like, I don't have attachments. I'm Buddhist. It's like, no, you're the most entitled little fucking.
Yeah.
You want to do something, so you make your entire family go to Thailand so you could check out this little place.
That's fair.
And the irony that she doesn't even realize her own entitlement. She thinks her family are the selfish ones, and the only one that calls her out is the Patrick Schwarzenegger brother, where he goes, "Dad, she always fucking gets what she wants. Everything she wants, she always gets." Right? And then everybody goes, "Oh, you're just being like a snobby little wasp who just talks a lot of shit."
Yeah.
No. That motherfucker knows exactly what that sister is. She might be the most manipulative in the whole family. And the fact that she doesn't even know it.
Yeah, she shows up at the temple being like, yeah, I'm just going to talk to the head monk. And the guy's like, yeah, you have to make an appointment.
Yeah. And then she's like shocked. She's like, what do you mean? Oh, okay, I guess I'll take 2.
That's interesting. I didn't clock that.
This is like that guy, the storyteller is like a real brilliant fucking guy.
My one gripe with this scene where the brothers kiss, by the way, my one gripe.
Yeah.
It gives MDMA a bad rap.
Oh, because they're all Molly?
They don't know. Well, I don't think we know it.
They're on a pill.
That
Everything feels awesome.
Yeah.
No, the douchebag brother's not into it. He's just like, if you look at him afterward, he's Miles. He's just like disturbed by
He
it.
also has a face turn in this where he's like, yo, we don't do drugs. Like, why are you taking drugs? Like, he tells the younger brother, he's like, don't do drugs.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, fuck it, whatever.
And he tells him, like, go out there, and they kind of paint him as like you would think almost a little like creepy with the way he treats women, but he's like, just go out there, get rejected, dude. Just go shoot your shot.
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, if they say no, it doesn't matter.
This is ballsy TV creation. Like, I think a lot of times people are going into like creating a show. They're like, how can we make him likable? How can we do it? And it's no. Fuck with me. Do what they did in Game of Thrones. You like Jaime Lannister? He's a piece of shit. Yeah. When you like him again, no, he's the worst human being ever. Then you like him again. Fuck with my emotions a little bit.
Yeah.
Make me fall in love with the character and then break my heart.
And it's more accurate. We are all good and bad. Nobody's pure good. Nobody's pure
And when
bad.
we don't know what to expect, we keep watching.
Yeah.
Stop creating things that we already know what to expect because you think it won't fail. That fails every single time.
Yeah.
Fuck with me. And at least the first few episodes, they're building up this girl to be like the only innocent one in the family. And I'm just looking at her like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
And then
You
she goes,
clocked it. That's
don't tell him, but I'm actually going to stay here for a year.
Yeah.
And then what is the first thing the younger brother goes, but what about me?
Yeah.
They're all selfish pieces of shit.
Wow.
Yeah. Hear
That's
no
good.
evil, speak no evil, see no evil. You saw that metaphor?
No.
At the very beginning scene when you first see them all coming in on the boat, she has the headphones on, and the brother has the glasses on,
Love it.
and the other brother's drinking a beer. So like they represent like the three monkeys.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw it on Reddit. I was like, oh, that's really clever. But I know multiple people that won't do MDMA because they're like, oh, it makes you gay. And I was like, no, it doesn't. And then this comes out. I'm like, nah,
Well, if you're gay, it does.
Are we more bothered by the gay or the incest? I just feel like
well, this is I brought this, no. That's the thing. I brought this up to my wife. She was like, yeah, that's so weird. I was like, I completely agree. But also, if it was hot twins, we'd be like, pretty chill.
no, that's
Pretty
sick.
cool.
No.
Girls?
Wait, girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You gotta specify
Yeah,
that.
this is my point. If it's two hot girl twins, people would be like, pretty chill.
I've told you guys this, right? When I dated those one of the girls was a twin, and I was like, "You guys ever, done like a threesome?" And then they were like, "That's incest." And I was like, "For y'all." But yeah, I know. So I guess they're like doing the kiss shit. It is weird. It's weird that the brother was like looking at him. Like that scene wouldn't be as weird if the brother wasn't gazing into Patrick Schwarzenegger's
it makes
ass.
it creepy because this brother's into it.
Yeah.
And then goes back. Like they just needed a kiss. And then they're like, well, that's not enough. So they do a little more. And then he does it and then goes back again.
Yeah.
Yeah. See that?
Ugh.
And then I think he goes back again.
Oh, gosh, won't look.
Yeah.
Just look at it, dude.
I did that. When it was on.
I'll tell you one thing. That British girl is so endearing.
Oh, she's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
She seems like the pure character on the show.
And I'm waiting to see what happens.
Which one?
The teeth.
Oh, okay.
It's funny. She did she was talking about, she's been an actress for a while and she was a successful, I guess, actress in theater and stuff like that in England. And she's like, I just can't get cast as American roles. Like I never get cast as American. And it's just because of the teeth. And then she's like, I played one in a theater production and people would come up to me and be like, that was actually really brilliant. You're great. But like none of us believe you're an American. Simply because of the teeth.
Damn.
But it is true. Like if your teeth look like that in America, you would get braces.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a pretty girl like her.
Yeah.
Everybody would just go, why don't you just fix that one thing we all fix? And then you'll be like the hottest girl ever.
But now I feel like she's gonna be way more castable. Like after this, I feel like
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, we want her because of that.
Yeah.
Like she stands out so much.
Yeah.
Brave.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brave.
Facts.
I'm curious about her relationship with Walton Goggins. Why are they together? What does she get out of this? It's not like she can't find another guy who's a piece of shit. Why does she say that they're soulmates?
It seems like she wants to fix him.
Yeah, she's the girl who wants to fix the guy.
So do we
Then-
really believe that that is her entirety or is there something else?
My recollection of White Lotus is they weren't all pieces of shit in the last two seasons.
Got
I felt like there were some decent people throughout season. Natasha Rothwell, the black girl.
The black girl. Oh, yes.
She seemed in season one and this season like just a good person.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there are always people who are just good people.
Right.
So yeah,
That
that's
one
kinda
kid
what I
in the
thought.
first season that goes off and joins the
the
canoeing
only
team.
kid that gets a happy ending in the
Yeah.
entire series. Yeah.
He goes and joins the canoeing team. I'm like, that kid's sick as hell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like him.
And I think that's why this season isn't as hard to watch for me because I know what it is. The first season I'm watching, and then the end, you're like, well, that sucked.
Yeah.
Nobody's happy. This is all miserable. And then
Yeah.
the second season, I was a little more prepared, but got even darker. And this season, I'm like, whatever you're throwing at me, it's going to be fine.
Now, I will say this. This does not make me want to go to Thailand at all.
Yeah.
I don't like you saw the one in Sicily. You're like, dude, Sicily looks amazing. I got to go
went?
check
It
this
was
shit
awesome.
out. Yeah. The one in Hawaii, I
Maui?
imagine, Maui.
Awesome.
I don't need to go to Thailand at all.
Nope.
But you're not like a meditative kumbaya motherfucker. So that.
But is that the only reason?
But there
to
is
go
a
out
White
there?
Lotus effect with like these places. People start going to it afterward.
Like the hotels are so beautiful. You're like, I just need to experience that.
Yeah, but the
And I'm
fact I think the fact that they have to give up their phone, you're like,
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out. No, just like the natural beauty of it. When they were on the boat.
I think it
and
looks beautiful.
Really?
Yeah, I think
I don't like jungles, bro. I'm off that jungle.
I'm a beach guy over a jungle guy.
I'm off the jungle.
There's a lot of bugs out there.
I don't like the forest. I don't like the jungle. I'm off of that.
It bummed me out that it felt like Bangkok was quite close to this place in the show, correct? Like it seemed like he got there pretty quick.
Yeah.
Jamil stayed at this resort, and I asked him, I was like, oh, they're pretty close to each other. Like, that'd be so amazing to be able to do both. And he was like, no, they're flights away from each other. It's like, oh, that bums me out because I would like to go to that resort. And
Like, how long is a flight? Like 30 minutes or is it 5 hours?
Like an hour or two.
Yeah, it's not crazy.
You can do both.
But I thought it was like you could go there for like
No,
a
he
night,
has to
like a
fly
little
there.
faster.
Yeah, you have to fly into Bangkok anyway, I'm sure.
Yeah. I just
And
thought they were close.
I thought this was shot in like multiple different resorts, and they make it look like one.
No, it's always shot at the Four Seasons, I think.
Oh, really? It's
I
just
think,
one.
yeah.
Oh,
All three
I thought
seasons
they-
are shot at the Four Seasons. So Fourth Season Sicily, when we went, was completely sold out because of the show, probably.
Wow. I just don't know if it will have that same impact in Thailand.
Yeah, I don't think it will.
Yeah. That jungle shit is overrated.
I think the three girls.
I mean, Thailand's a developing country. I went there. I went to Phuket, but it was like, oh, this feels like India. Like three people on a scooter, and like the roads look kind of like dirt roads.
It's a
kind of
snake show. I don't need to see snakes.
No, I'll
I
go
don't
to a
wanna
snake
see
show. That
that.
shit's
that's
fire.
sick.
It's the demon.
Yeah, I would go. I would pull up just to go see him tame the demons, bro.
Nah, dude. Nah, shit
I
is
mean,
cruel.
the love interest of the little security guard guy. I'll get some passport.
Oh, yeah,
bros
yeah,
over
yeah.
there.
Bro,
she's
beautiful.
Yeah,
I get some passport.
She is so beautiful.
yeah.
I mean, she's mega famous.
She was in Blackpink.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
And she's
K-pop
solo
band.
now, and she's still doing it.
Killing it.
Yeah.
Oh,
But she is like, okay, so here's something my wife told me. You know that show Emily in Paris?
yeah.
So years ago, I think like a few seasons ago, there was a storyline in the Emily in Paris show where the heir to the LVMH throne, they don't call it LVMH in the show, but that's what they're alluding to, is dating this like Asian K-pop star. That girl in real life is dating the heir to the LVMH.
Whoa.
And that happened years after. Like,
Oh,
I don't even think they could have been privy to it. We're talking
Life
about,
imitating art type
yeah.
shit.
Wow.
right?
Oh, that's wild.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, it is.
Or
They
were
might have-
they dating on the low for years and then,
Yeah, they might have had a scoop or something. That's wild.
right?
Yeah.
But yeah, she's so pretty, and she's not like everything that you would think about like traditional beauty, where like angles in the face and all this other stuff is not her at all. Like when you describe her face is like soft.
But she's very symmetrical. Like it's
Symmetrical,
yeah.
of course, but like the other girl, the model girl on the show, who's obviously stunning, the girl from Quebec or whatever like that.
Yeah.
The date's Gary or Greg or whatever his
Yeah.
name is. Like she's traditionally beautiful.
Yeah.
But that fucking Korean chick, holy shit.
She's a piece.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think she's. top
and also
tier of the show.
the
Yeah,
guy that she's dating is so endearing.
Oh,
You,
he's
like
so
love
sweet.
this
You wanna give him a
guy.
hug.
He's so sweet.
Yeah,
But
just,
I think he's evil.
there's
I know.
gotta be
a
some
turn.
shit.
Gotta be a turn. We like him too much.
No, I think he's
No,
evil.
I just think
bro.
he's gonna die tragically or whatever.
And then break all of our hearts.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I think she's evil.
Yeah, I think she's kind
Yeah.
of stringing him along.
One of them is evil for sure.
No.
Wait, this is her?
Oh wow, she
looks different.
She looks a little different. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as.
No, this is this Lisa?
Damn.
God,
They
damn,
really
dog.
do all look alike.
God damn,
We
dog.
ain't
Come
even
on.
try to
Come
do
on,
it.
Joey.
Like,
What you doing, Minnesota?
Come on, Joey.
That's her.
Damn.
Okay, that's better.
Yeah.
This is better.
Yeah. Click that one right there. That you should. No. The other one. Go back. All right. That one right there. That one. No. Top. Right.
Yeah, that's the one he clicked.
Yeah, that's.
That one's
And it was
good.
like on the screen when you said
Yeah.
not now.
I don't know what I'm thinking, bro.
He got spun up.
Yeah.
I think the three moms, the MILFs, I think they die.
I hope they do.
Oh, they're all moms.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think they die.
One of them is
Happy
married.
ending.
One of them is
the
married to
foreshadowing is
Sam
that they're
Rockwell.
all walking down the street and they all got water guns and all the water guns are shooting them. And they're all getting sprayed with the water guns when they're walking down the street of whatever that main street is. And I think that's foreshadowing for all of them being shot.
I mean, did you see the shots fired at Austin? It's like a whole episode dedicated to like shitting on Austin.
Oh yeah. That. Okay,
Yeah, it's kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. I just didn't put it
This
together.
is how
Yeah.
influential Joe Rogan is. The only reason that girl moved to Austin in the show is because of Joe Rogan.
Yeah, probably.
I've never heard the word Austin even brought up on TV, film, news before Joe moved there.
Yeah.
Like the fat go.
I think when COVID happened, that LA crop, there was like a huge chunk of them that went to Austin.
Austin, yeah.
Like Joe included. I think he kind of led the way, but
Yeah.
like there was just a ton of other LA people that were like, oh, this is
Yeah.
like a liberal city nearby. Like,
Yeah.
So a lot of them went.
And then she's like the example
Yeah,
of
epitome
the
of
LA girl that moves to Austin, then adopts the local culture.
And Mike White is so good at picking up on like subtle nuance that he's like, oh, this is the perfect thread.
yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Her like
And when
admitting.
they asked her, "Did you vote for Trump?" and she went,
And she's like, are we really going to talk about politics? Yeah, right. But also it taps into that like coastal elitism too. Like how could you be around them?
Yeah.
It's just so classic, like liberal rich woman from the coast.
Yeah.
What do you even talk to them about? Like just so removed from like reality.
Yeah.
The same thing you would talk to her about for the last 2 days. You guys have been talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. I'm gripped. I'm fully in.
They got it. All right, what else we got, guys?
This UMG Drake thing?
"Oh,
What's going on here?
I feel UMG listened to what everybody was saying online and just put it in legal terms. 'Cause they really just called out Drake for all the hypocrisy and just so the history of it, we all know. Drake assumed UMG. They came back and they're like, "Hey, you're just salty that you lost this rap battle." Actually, Drake is saying that they're putting him his safety.
But they basically said, like, you lost a battle. You always pretend to be unbothered. This clearly bothers you a lot. It was a battle you provoked.
Yeah.
Also, you accused him, if you're worried about defamation of character, before he said anything about you with kids, not only did you talk about him being a child or abusing his girl, you also invited him to talk about this in the tailor-made freestyle when he's like, talk about it with underage girls. That's a gift from Joe Budden or whatever.
Yeah.
That's you talking, saying, hey, why don't you talk about this? So you're inviting him to talk about it. He talks about it, and now he's putting your safety in danger.
Has Drake ever spoken about his justification for this lawsuit?
No.
Like nobody's asked him about it?
I'm sure people have asked him. Drake's a guy that has platforms that if he wants to use, he can.
Yeah.
He's not talking about it publicly at all.
Yeah.
And it's funny, he's doing the thing that they accuse him of doing, the rapper who acts unbothered, but then behind the scenes, you're doing this shit.
Yeah.
And it's very, like,
It's very petty. They're quoting his lines and shit like that. Like, it's really funny the way they came back.
So if he drops this, I mean, it's just, is it a massive L? Do we just move on? Does anybody care?
They can never make me hate Drake.
Isn't that crazy?
They're trying to make me hate Drake, bro. It's never going to work.
they said he signed a
gonna
public
work.
petition that criticized prosecutors using lyrics against artists. So, like, you signed a petition saying you shouldn't be able to use an artist's lyrics against them. They're just lyrics. And now you're suing us for this.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, again, it's
Well, I think that the lawsuit says that they were specifically inflating and promoting the song,
yeah.
which had the inflammatory lyrics. But I don't think the lawsuit is about the inflammatory lyrics. I think it's about the inflation of the song.
Yeah, but I think he's saying the lyrics specifically is what is putting his health or his safety in risk.
Right.
He's not saying UMG promoting the stream. You are promoting the song, which will bring violence toward me. Look at the lyrics of the song. Calls me a child molester.
Right. But again, just so we understand what we're saying here, he's not saying you put out a song that has these lyrics. It's you are inflating it
Yeah.
over normal amounts.
Yeah.
So I think it's about the inflation, not the lyrics.
Yeah.
But the inflation, the manufacturing of that inflation could add harm. So if you up it 20%, now you've increased 20% of the harm. So I'm suing you for that 20%, not what the lyrics are there.
And I think this is why.
But do you understand?
Yeah, yeah. And I think this is why United has to find a different way. I'm sorry, UMG has to find a different way to go at him, because I think the only thing they could say is, we do this for every artist. We've done this for you. But they can't say that, because then that blows up their business model.
the business model.
So they have to find, hey, just dismiss this case with prejudice.
So that's a good point. Yes. So kind of Drake's calling out the business in a way where the business has to acknowledge that they do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now he was the beneficiary.
Yeah.
But I guess he's also saying, if all things are fair, I'll still beat all these motherfuckers. So
I think that was his goal. His goal is just to blow this whole shit up. Like, let's take the curtain down and let's just
because
really,
if,
like,
the
show cards.
if the curtain's down, he's still going to beat them. Maybe they all get 30% less,
Yeah.
but he still beats them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there are other people that might be the beneficiaries of that inflation more than him. In others, like again, we were talking about this on Brilliant Idiots, but like there are a lot of people that can get like a #1 album for a week or a #1 song for a week, and then the next week the streams die.
Yeah.
I think. Was Russ saying that on the pod? Yeah, I think he was. He's like, so basically you can buy a #1 and then the next week nobody really knows about it.
Yeah. But you went #1, that's all that matters.
100%.
And you go on #1 might make people listen to it. Well, the song's #1. Let's listen to it.
But and then exactly. So you can manufacture it, and then that manufactured #1 can potentially turn into a legit #1, or it cannot.
Yeah.
And yeah, but maybe he's like, I'd rather be on a level playing field with everybody because I'm still gonna fuck these people up.
Yeah. So he's just showing everyone's cards, pulling the curtain down from everything, and just being like, yo, this is how the business works.
But the business might be more helpful to these other artists than Drake.
For sure.
So he's like, all right, let's tear this whole shit down. I'm going to be the one that wins in the end.
I'm assuming that's the case if he's willing to go at the label.
That's interesting. So they haven't dropped the lawsuit. This is just UMG continuing trying to protect themselves.
Yeah, because they can't be honest. They can't be honest and say, this helps everybody that we've covered, including you. We should make Drake look a little bad, but also like this is our business model, so we have to protect that.
Yeah, but they're basically admitting that they can inflate a song and make it bigger than it actually is. So now, whoa, if he wins this, some people go, yeah, but it worked for you too. He goes, yeah, okay, it worked for me. But they admitted they made it bigger than it was supposed to be. And my songs that I released weren't made bigger than they were supposed to be because I didn't release them through UMG or whatever the fuck it is. So then this could work out for Drake still.
I don't know, because I think
legally.
Yeah.
But not
legally. I don't think the public
perception-wise.
opinion's going to really care.
I don't. If UMG has to come out and say, yeah, we inflated it by 50%, I think that now the song is an absolute banger.
That's
It's
what
a
I'm
huge
saying.
That's the thing.
100%. But if you're a Drake fan, you go, oh shit, the only reason it was like that is because they inflated by 50%.
Drake fans.
Drake
think
fans.
that-
Oh, I already believe that.
I'm already
Yeah,
Drake
I don't-
fans
this
have not
changed
been talked
nothing.
out of anything.
What's this Billboard thing about? Billboard is changing the way that they count sales. Have you guys seen this?
Academics posted something.
Yeah.
I forget what it was. I could try to find it.
What, now they're like including streams in a different way?
Yeah, or they're counting them in a different way. And if they've showed that you are using bots, then they will suspend your account for 12 months or whatever the fuck it is.
Oh, wow.
But it's Billboard's acknowledgement that bots are being used.
Yeah.
You don't put out a
That's
precautionary
Digital
measure.
albums sold via an artist label or other official website must now be redeemed in order to be chart eligible. In addition, verification using HCAPTCHA is now required to prevent bots.
Wow.
So HCAPTCHA is that thing where you have to type in the code to prove you're a real person. So how do you do that for every single stream? Every time I play a song, I got to do an HCAPTCHA?
Yeah, minimum prices of albums increasing at all retailers: $7.99 for CD, $7.99 for cassette, $15 for vinyl.
Is it for like buying albums?
Yeah, and I think they said if you drop it on like another site, like outside of the streamers or something like that, you know how Kanye's dropping his music and stuff like that on his own website.
So those could be more easily manipulated.
Yeah.
Any D2C store with 3 submissions of illegitimate data within a 12-month period may receive a minimum 90-day reporting
So
suspension.
direct to consumer, is that when you're selling merch with your album? Like, is that the bundle stuff?
maybe.
that, or if you're selling it on your own site.
Oh, that's interesting.
Wow. So they're basically acknowledging that their formula or algorithm has been manipulated.
Yeah.
And whoa.
Which
this
everyone
is-
kind of knew, but it was never really confirmed by any of the big like leaderboards.
Yeah. I mean, people said this a lot about, I mean, not to shit on Travis, obviously he's a megastar, but they're like, if you're selling a bundle with the album, it's going to make the sales look this big, when in reality there are people that are buying merch or they're buying these other little artifacts that have to do with the album, which I don't think should reflect poorly on Travis, because it just means his fans really want to consume his stuff. But those same people that are consuming on Spotify might also buy the album over here just to get access. So now you have the same person that's buying twice. So you don't get a real idea of like how many people are consuming the music.
That's where I don't think this is going to be a win for Drake, because exactly what you said about Travis. I don't think that should affect the way we look at Travis. I don't think it will affect the way we look at the artist. It's what you always say. It's how do we feel? I think we generally feel Not Like Us was an absolute fucking smash, and Hard Part 6 was just like a big L, and that's just what it is.
Okay.
Numbers can be numbers.
I agree with you, but I do think that like I'll bring this back into the special that we just put out. So we were like top 2 for the first week, and then we've been in top 10 for the second week. Now, Netflix telling me, all these people telling me, the agents telling me that like usually specials don't stay in the top 10 for that long. They don't even stay for the week, let alone be in there for a second week. It's like very rare. So to me, what I see that as like, okay, we could do great promotion. We did a sick video with Matt Damon. Shout out, man. We could get the first day tons of people to watch. And usually there's just this fall off. To have a second week, it means people are telling other people to watch it. That's the only way it can go. People, obviously, I'm doing promo, I'm doing these press, these interviews are coming out, more people are hearing it, absolutely. But at the end of the day, it's like, are people enjoying it and are other people consuming it, right? So I think there is something to like that longevity with the consumption. And I do compare that to what Russ was saying about music, where it's like day 1, big hit, and then next week, not a single stream or very few.
This happens with podcasts. Someone will launch a new podcast. It goes number 1 for a couple days, then it drops off.
And then it's like they go, okay, I got the number 1 podcast.
Joe Rogan, and then Rogan will come back up a week later.
So it's not actually that. So I think this is Billboard trying to adjust for like to have a more accurate understanding of how many people are really consuming, because really intelligent record companies and artists have found a way to kind of like trick it to make it look like this big success when in reality it's not. Travis is going to be a huge success no matter what. We've seen him perform in fucking Rome for like all of Italy, it looked like. It's not going to be Travis, but there might be another artist like I don't know, what's her, like Megan Thee Stallion or something, pop for like a day, and then nobody listens to the album after that. And then you go, wait, are people listening? Like what exactly is happening here? And I think it is on Billboard to tell us if people are listening or not.
Also, someone that's a huge megastar still would benefit from this because they're going against other megastars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like someone like Travis or Meg or some other type of massive celebrity is going against Taylor or going against some other type of ultimate megastar that they need to, they would benefit from like a little sweetener.
Absolutely.
It's also reining in, from what I've read, what artists can do. So like they can't release more than 4 different types of the album: deluxe version, regular album, blankety blank. They're potentially before releasing 10 different albums, different songs.
Because your super fans are going to buy it 10 different times.
And you can only change the cover like a few times. Like it's sort of consolidating what artists are able to do.
It allows a artist that's not as famous or not as successful to have a fighting chance. And right now they don't. Like if you're a super big artist, if Taylor's dropping the same day as like indie rock artists, indie rock artists has no fucking chance. Because even if people don't like Taylor's album, her label can just buy the fucking streams and guarantee her the number 1. So to me, it's cooler that like an indie rock artist with an amazing album that people are like really fucking with has a chance to knock out one of these big time acts. Like that's fire.
Yeah.
But is it doing anything to the streamers where it's like they can buy the bots on Spotify or Apple or any of those places? Like, is it preventing that in any way?
I don't know. I don't know enough to tell you. I assume, but maybe not. Maybe it's just on these like, was it third-party sites or whatever?
Yeah, because that would be worse for the indies.
Then they'd be completely screwed. It is peculiar that they would do it. I don't know if Billboard is owned by these big streamers, but it's in the best interest of the record labels who own a piece of the streamers to control that market as much as they possibly can. They want to be able to turn it up on their artists, and they want to be able to kind of ignore the ones that they're not signed to or they don't have signed to them. So it does seem like it's kind of democratizing the way that we review how much music has been consumed, which is not in the best interests of UMG. And if UMG and these other big streamers own, big companies own parts of Spotify, that's not in their best interest either. Like you want to create the illusion if you need to. Hopefully you don't have to, but you want to if you need to.
Yeah.
Because they've got so much money invested in them.
Can't they just ask Spotify, be like, yo, are 50% of the streams coming from India? You know what I mean? Like, couldn't they just look at the back end and be like, yeah, you're getting all your streams from India. It's probably bots.
Yeah.
Like, couldn't Spotify just cut that shit out?
I think Spotify came out not too long ago.
Spotify's getting paid by the, sorry to interrupt, but like Spotify's getting paid per stream. So if the record label wants to spend money streaming them, Spotify's getting paid. They're not going to be like, please don't give us your money. They're in the business of people streaming the music. So whether it's a bot or not, they're getting their 3 cents or, fraction of a penny or whatever it is per stream. So why would they say no to it? As long as they're getting paid every single time.
But are they getting the same money if it's just a bot?
They have to be.
Like, how does it work? Like subscription, ads, stuff like that?
No, I think every time a song gets played, they have to pay a certain amount of money to Spotify. Or no, Spotify has to pay a certain amount of money to the record label.
That's what I thought. Yeah. That Spotify's hosting is they're licensing it from the label, so they have to pay the label.
Holy shit. So
in my mind, Spotify would be like, yeah, we're not getting any money from these subscriptions from some random house. And
so they should, if anything, it's costing them more to have bots. So they should want to get rid of bots.
I think they are cracking down on bots. Like I'm pretty sure I saw this a couple months ago where Spotify is like, oh, if like 80% of your streams are coming in bots, we're going to start penalizing you. Like they know it's going on, and they're like, now they're trying to cap it where we'll still let you do it, but just not so aggressively as you've been doing it. Could you look that up, Joey, to see?
Because every single one of those bots doesn't have a Spotify account that they're spending money monthly on, right? A lot of them are probably listening on like the free version where you got to have ads. And if the advertisers find out that a large percentage of the people consuming music on Spotify aren't even real, they'll reduce their per click spend.
Well, I think Indians are real people, but it does like, it's just some Sri Lankan dude like listening to like music all day, listening to ads and shit.
Well, is it even him, or does he have like a farm?
Yeah, probably a farm where it's 1,000 phones and they all like, you've seen those the farms, right?
So
where it's just phones all across the whole wall.
So if you're spending for 1 million streams, or if you're spending for 1 million people to watch your advertisement on Spotify, and then you find out 250,000 of those people are just one guy in Sri Lanka with a lot of phones, or a handful of these people, you're like, all right, well, I'm only going to spend 750,000 because 250 isn't. Now 25% of your revenue is out the door. You got to clean that bot shit up.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude.
So this might work out. Maybe it doesn't change the way that we see Drake. It doesn't change what happened in the beef, but maybe it does transform the music industry a little bit.
And if Drake does a halftime show at the World Cup,
oh man,
come on, dude.
See you later.
Out of here.
He's back.
Dude, Drake is back,
bro.
Half the people watching can't even understand what the fuck he's saying.
It doesn't matter, bro. You get what he's saying. You get the energy. You get his sex appeal. You know what I mean? You see the bullet holes in his hoodie. That's all that matters, bro.
That's all that matters.
No, if he does the halftime show at the World Cup, it shuts it down.
Game over.
I'm Team Drake. Before every show, I put on Drake's hardest hits. It's a playlist on Spotify. Drake's hardest songs.
And it just goes crazy.
And you just hear a bunch of singing.
Yeah, it goes crazy, bro. It's only the hardest tracks, bro.
This
it's
is
crazy.
God's plan.
That's how I get. It's God's plan, bro. I believe dumb shit. It's God's plan, bro. Manifest destiny.
Drake's last album had a few slappers on it.
It did.
It had a few slappers.
Give me a hug. I like
that shit is crazy. Give me a hug. It's fire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
baby girl. That shit goes crazy in the club.
All right, well, what do we got, guys? Before we get out of here, let's do one more thing.
I mean, McGreggy pulled up on Trumpito.
We still don't have the JFK files. Nobody read 80,000 pages this morning. Can you throw that shit in ChatGPT and just?
That's what I was thinking.
ChatGPT is gonna be like, yeah, it's all redacted.
Yep.
Can we believe that? I don't think they're gonna put anything out.
They're not.
I don't think they ever will. And if it does come out, I think it's gonna be a political weapon against
Epstein's
the
list
people they
was
want.
dog shit. This is gonna be just as dog.
They're gonna be like, Iran killed JFK. We gotta go get oil.
Yeah.
Probably.
You know what I mean?
Probably.
They're smart, man. They're the best at politics. Make a claim that they're not going to do, half-ass it, and they could be like, look, see, we did it.
Yeah.
But the public really didn't get it.
Yeah.
But I voted for the guy who said he was going to release that shit.
And
he
we got
released
it.
that.
Yeah, I think a lot of files
That's
are burned
smart.
and shit. Like,
I think you learned from Build the Wall. That was too much. That was like I have to build the thing.
Yeah.
But this, I could just be like, I'm gonna release the files.
Yeah.
I released them. They're not.
Yeah.
You can't read them, but they're out there.
yeah. Like the
Smart,
Epstein one, the thing that I think Sauger even said it. Like they redacted stuff that was already
out.
Yeah.
So there was more shit covered.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I don't think we're gonna know
It
anything
was
that they don't want us to
interesting
know.
to hear how kind of like skeptical or like kind of down on this first part of Trump's term that Sauger was.
Interesting.
You remember he was just like, I don't like what's happening. I don't like the power Elon has. I don't think this bodes well for Trump and his legacy. Like it was interesting to hear that from a staunch conservative.
Yeah.
That like, I'm not very happy with this administration right now.
Is that what you got from the combo?
That's what I got from the combo.
I should have been listening. I didn't get that.
He was criticizing Elon. He was criticizing. Y'all didn't hear that?
Yeah. He was criticizing Elon, not too
Yeah,
much
but he
of
was just
Trump.
like, the first 100 days defines the presidency. Right now, it's getting dominated by this. This is the story. And that is incredibly important for Trump's legacy. And if he keeps letting Elon dominate the headlines instead of the other things he's doing, that's not going to be good. Like, I'm not very bullish on how this is going to be viewed. And I think he wasn't bullish on a lot of the Doge stuff in general. But like, it was interesting to hear that from a guy who I figured would love what was happening.
Yeah.
The sense I got was just like hesitant and like he sees that it's a risky play that could pan out. but he does see the risk that's involved in the strategy.
Yeah, well, I thought he was even more like not that into it than what you're saying.
Now, to be fair, I think that we were kind of like forcing him to give a steel man. And I think that's maybe what you're responding to.
Maybe.
You see all the Teslas exploding?
Yeah.
Set on fire, right?
Al's selling his Tesla.
I'm not going to sell it yet because the resale value is tanking right now. But
Just rebrand it. Have you seen how people rebrand the Teslas?
But this is terrorism. This is domestic terrorism.
yes, tell them.
Not for real. Like, you should lock these motherfuckers up. You can't do this, bro.
Freedom of
What's the
speech.
difference between vandalism and terrorism?
If you do it against the guy, like,
Because that's I don't know. Vandalism might be too mild of a word, but terrorism, I assume people got to be in danger.
Yeah, I feel
no people are in danger.
It's somewhere in the
vandalism.
oh wow, I looked at terrorism as like violence with a political agenda. I think that's the definition of terrorism.
But then is property violence? Like if no one dies.
Yeah.
Does it need to like?
This is property damage. Mark's right.
Yeah, I guess so. Property damage can't count as terrorism because in Spain there was a group that would blow up cars, and they would make sure that nobody was there, but they would just blow up the cars, or like there was a bomb in a building, but they would make sure nobody was there. But the idea was to like stoke this fear, and they had a political agenda. So I don't know if anybody needs to get hurt for it to be defined as terrorism. I just think we should look that up, Joey. I think it
wasn't that when they were trying to fight Uber?
No, this is way back in the day.
This is when they were fighting Uber.
Yeah, this is like there was a separatist group, I think in like the Basque country or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and I wonder even if like the car bombs and shit like that in Ireland were like people in the cars.
I think they were targeting people, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
mean, yeah, and at some point that a person will likely be in the car at a car dealership. You know these cars are empty.
Sure, but that has nothing to do with the political agenda part of it.
Oh no, there's a political agenda. I just don't know if you would call this violence or like even a building where you know people are going to go into or whatever. I just feel like a car that's unsold that doesn't belong to anyone except Tesla,
Right.
That's on a parking lot. It just seems different.
Yeah, it seems
than
like
terrorism.
this
I'm
is
not saying
trying.
it's legal.
I think we're like splitting hairs on a word, but I think the point that I'm trying to make here is that like this is an aggressive act of whatever you want to call it. Is this violence? What is this? Terrorism is broadly defined as a calculated use of violence or the threat of violence to instill fear and achieve political or ideological goals, often targeting civilians or non-combatants. Right?
It's definitely instilling fear.
It's absolutely instilling fear, right? And for a political agenda. Like they don't like his politics, so they're attacking one of his businesses. This has nothing to do with the quality of the cars. Like this is an American car manufacturer. The people that make Teslas are Americans. 100% of Teslas sold in America are made by Americans in America. You can't say that for Ford. You can't say that for GMC. You can't say that for any other car producer in America, I'm pretty sure. So this is an act of aggression on American automakers that will lose their jobs if Tesla tanks and cannot sell cars anymore. So you are attacking Americans when you're doing this. So
Yeah, I'm a victim. Terrorism, bro.
you're a victim of terrorism.
Big penis they drew in my car scared the shit out of me, bro. Shit.
No, but so for real, like to me, I think this is disgusting, and it's motivated by a political agenda. It's just I don't agree with this guy's politics, so we're gonna attack his business, which ultimately will hurt Americans. And I just think it's gross. I think it's disgusting. I think it's fucked up.
I don't like it, even though I don't like much of what Elon is doing right now. I don't like this. I will also say, you're not. The second you have Starlink on your Wi-Fi on your flight, you're gonna be like, you know what? I'm never giving this up. I'm never giving this up. I'm streaming anything I fucking want on this plane. I can do FaceTime call. It's incredible. You're gonna use Elon's products whether you want to or not.
You're using them already. You're using PayPal. Like you're using. I mean, if you were pro-Ukraine in the war, what do you think the Ukraine government uses for internet access on the battlefield? Starlink, right? So it's just like this idea that you could take this one specific thing about Elon that you don't like and then use everything else that you really do like and enjoy and makes your life better, but not attribute any of that to Elon at all. It's it's microscopic thinking. Yeah, very.
We are talking about people at the end of the day.
Yeah, you're right. This is what we do. No, you're right. This is what we do, and it's just. But I can still be bummed by it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I think it sucks.
I'm bummed by it.
Like
This shit sucks. I really fucking like the Cybertruck, and this is destroying my whole experience.
The joy
of
that the
having
car
it.
brings you. Yeah.
Also,
I hate it now.
think about this.
Which that is
pretty
kind of
judging.
funny. I do find that a little.
Yeah, we like that it's happening to you.
When it's happening to you, it's sort of funny.
But here's the thing: and we think of everybody that
I don't think it's funny.
has the Cybertruck, and we're just going, oh, look at these like rich, successful people. Like almost every Uber I get now is a Tesla.
Which is the worst. Ugh.
When
It goes
you,
too fast.
When you order the black car and they give you a Tesla, it's a little bit. I think that's egregious.
Hey.
I'll be honest, it's egregious.
It stops and starts too quick. It gets sick.
I'm not worried about that. I
It's
ordered
an
a black car.
$80,000
Get me a
car.
fucking Cadillac. I don't want to be sitting in this fucking shitty Toyota.
It's like 80,000.
Okay, whatever. The point is there's some guy who immigrated to the United States of America legally or illegally, and he's trying to make a living, and now he's got a dick drawn on his car, and he can't charge Uber black prices anymore because his shit has been terrorized because of some fucking white bitch from Maine with purple hair is upset at Elon.
Yeah.
Like, the people who are actually going to suffer from this are probably, well, obviously it's Elon, but if you're talking about the actual destroying of the cars, I bet you it's more minorities than anything else. I mean, we know one. I've yet to see a white person affected by it. Yeah. So these people in their effort to like push whatever, I don't even call it woke ideology, but like maybe push back against what he's doing, which you have every right to be suspicious of, right? And it might work horribly. Like people might be really impacted. You don't even realize the people you're attacking to prove your point. To protect those exact same people, you might also be hurting them.
Yeah.
It's like peak American, not even human hypocrisy.
Yeah. I mean, there's like the animal protesters that like throw tomatoes on a painting. You're like, who's the hell? Yeah. Have you seen how people are covering their cars now?
No, what are they
Can you
doing?
search like Tesla, Mazda? And so people are now taking their Tesla emblems off their Teslas and putting different car emblems.
But it's still a Tesla.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but they actually look really like believable.
That's all I got to do to switch up the Cybertruck.
Yeah, dude, people do that with the Cybertruck.
I'll put Nissan.
People do that. Like, so this is a Tesla, and they put the Mazda thing on it. They're like, yeah, it's a Mazda.
Oh, wow.
And someone did it with a Cybertruck. They just put a Toyota decal on the back of it to signal to people like, hey, I'm kind of distancing. Like, obviously it's a Cybertruck, but like I'm trying to separate.
Low key, it's corny, but I might do that shit.
Separate the art from the artist, bro.
Because I liked this shit before all this was going on. It's not fair.
And there's a bumper sticker for that.
Yeah.
I bought this before Elon went crazy.
Yeah. Kind of funny.
That's just a wrap. You just have to take off your wrap and put that one on.
Yeah.
I might actually do that. But it's corny. It's like, now I'm giving in to
Terrorism.
literally
Literally
You're
terrorism.
negotiating with terrorists.
Yeah.
This fucking sucks.
We taking our shoes off at the airport because of terrorists. You got to put a fucking Audi decal on your car because of terrorism. It's fucked up.
Does look sick though.
Honestly, it looks
It
better.
looks kind of fire.
It looks better.
Right?
Yeah.
That Audi logo slaps, dude. I don't know. That shit is hard.
They make a great car. Like, let's stop acting like it's not a great fucking car. And making the car has nothing to do with what he's doing in government. If you don't like Doge, go protest the Doge shit.
Yeah.
But that is ineffective, so you have to hit him somewhere else.
Yeah, Elon needs to shut up and invent. You know what I mean?
there's no
Shut up and
Doge.
dribble, but do that for you being a billionaire genius.
And there's no Doge office where you can go to and complain to somebody. Like,
So you
this
have to
is-
go to a Tesla dealership and you light it on fire.
Yeah.
That shit is so whack, bro. That shit is so whack.
The only steelman argument I can find online, I've been using ChatGPT and shit, trying to find one, is that they're saying it could be framed as is the Boston Tea Party vandalism, or was it terrorism, or was it revolution?
Oh.
And I was like,
No, I like this. This is good. Let's talk it out.
Oh. That's kind of nice.
Well, T was. Oh yeah, I guess it was hurting the government specifically, not. I guess it's hurting Elon's pockets, and he's in the government.
Well, the T was, there were private,
East India Trading Company.
which is a private company,
Yeah.
publicly traded.
Them.
Yeah.
But no, so it was a publicly traded company.
Yeah.
They're attacking, just like Tesla is. So they're attacking that. And then the idea was the East India Trading Company would hope that England would protect their business interests in America because England was the beneficiary with that tax revenue. So yeah, this is exactly what they're doing. So they better hope they're right. I mean, what does that say? Like the difference between like terrorism and revolutionary is the victor.
Yeah. Or terrorist and freedom fighter.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see
I
what
think the
happens.
difference with this is burning a car could affect a lot of people. You could catch a large fire. There's like throwing tea overboard doesn't affect people possibly.
Also, they're not just doing it to Tesla dealerships; they're doing it to owners of Teslas as well.
Yeah, that's smacking
like
someone's tea out their hand.
yeah, taking someone's tea from their house and then setting up.
But there
fire
were people
with
working on that ship that had to move the tea, and that was their job. And then if the East India Trading Company stops, or Dutch East India Trading Company stops doing it, they're out of a job. Those people suffer. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, it's not like this is a foreign car manufacturer and we're protesting them because we're at war with them. Let's say we're at war with Germany and we're like, yo, no more Porsches, no more Mercedes. All right, bet, stop it, done. all these cars are made in America. Like 100% of the Teslas sold in America are made here, fully. Not the shit like with Ford where like 30% of it is made in some other country and then you kind of put it together here. They're all made here. So this is as American as it gets when it comes to the automotive industry. I feel like it's something we should maybe protect. Is there another business we could protest? Protest SpaceX. I don't give a fuck about that.
No, that's just fire.
They just got back to 2 that was stranded up there.
All right, so then don't protest that. Protest the tunnels.
Yeah, the Hyperloop.
Protest the tunnels. Protest the Hyperloop. Protest one of these other goofy shits. Don't protest the one that we like and we all enjoy.
Flamethrowers. We don't need the flamethrowers.
We don't need flamethrowers.
What if that's how they lit on fire?
That's actually
back.
good.
So they got to fight back. If you're going to light a Tesla on fire, there should be like a flamethrower that pops out of one of like the
Terminator. Yeah, Batman shit. That's kind of fire.
Make each one a Bond vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that shit's wild.
This shit sucks.
Anyway, guys, we love you. We appreciate you. We'll see you on Patreon. Patreon.com/flagrant. Peace.